Nowhere to be like Jamaica. Nowhere like my island home. Nowhere to be like Jamaica. Nowhere like my island home. Nowhere to be like Jamaica. Nowhere like my island home. Hub of the Caribbean. Nowhere to be like Jamaica. Nowhere like my island home. Nowhere to be like Jamaica. Place in the Caribbean. Nowhere to be like Jamaica. Nowhere like my island home. Nowhere to be like Jamaica. Home of the Caribbean. Share this as well. You know, now, man, enough people. Dig up on yourself forward. You don't know things yet. Appreciate everybody we are forward. You see me? Yeah, man. Make we get straight to it. Make we get straight to it, people. Salute to Babsy. Beautiful woman. Oh, Babsy. Beautiful black queen. You see me? Big up to Babsy. Big up to everybody who love music. Big up to everybody who can say, yo, we can put the feelings aside, huh? Put feelings aside. But remember when we tell you, when me hear say, yo, the music, the life support me, I say, yo, can't work. I say, yo, wonder if you're wrong. Michael, wonder if you're wrong. Michael, you don't know you're coming like a rock, you know. Better you go reason this out. Don't run with your emotion, Michael. Take it easy, calm yourself. So me say better me bring it up this evening. But when me hear say, yo, the music are dead, they for life support. Me feet cut me deep. I say, all boy, calm. Do your research. So me do my research. I say, yo, some people say they agree. Some people say, yo, a stupidness. What kind of nonsense that? The for your program, Michael. Me I say then, oh, well, we can't have a debate. So we have a debate this evening. We know we're passionate about with music. We're passionate about with music. Me love me music. Me want to see me music just continue so and get better every year. We just get better, but something wrong somewhere. You might disagree with Babsy, but you can't say, yo, look, she have a point, you know, because this, that, and the third. I don't want nobody getting at them feelings and say, yo, she wrong if you go. No, don't do that. If you disagree, tell me where you disagree. You understand? But something wrong somewhere. You see me? Something wrong somewhere. And right now, may I come for the war. If you hash out the thing. If you have a good discussion this evening and break it down. If you say, yo, dancehall in the best position since it start, fine. Tell me why you say so. Where you prove that? If you agree with Babsy and say, yo, dancehall and life support no because this, that, and the third. Then me I go say, yeah, I the proof. Where proof there? As me say, salute to Babsy. You understand? Beautiful queen. I say, yo, but Me know it's a hard pill to swallow, you know. And I don't remember who. I can't. I remember who, but I don't want to share who put me on point. And say Afrobeats was, you know, maybe them calling and talk about that. But at the same thing, Afrobeats was around for all long and couldn't rise. Why Afrobeats couldn't rise? Because of reggae music. Don, reggae music. Fuck you, go Afrobeats. Flock out of here. You understand? 60s, 70s, from 70s, 80s come up and just Jamaican music just have it away. But since Afrobeats emerged, what a step reggae step back. Cause the thing that was overshadowing, you know, Afrobeats was reggae music, you know. Nobody know how about Afrobeats. Cause reggae music was just looming large. So Afrobeats just take over now. Unless some the prince become king. Unless the king no longer there. Whether you abdicate or you drop out, but the king have not dead the reign for the prince take over. And the prince was Afrobeats. Michael, blasphemy, Michael. Me not say nothing, me just attack. Me just a spew go on. Miss Jacobs, big up yourself. Miss Jacobs, Rick one side. Me don't know what dance all there now, but Jano Star. Rick, this discussion need to happen. This discussion needs to happen, people. And I yes, so we there now. Drop a link. Golden, are you there? Golden, I try first and jump out the winner. I say, Michael. As a matter of fact, boy, Golden Eye for go, no Golden Eye. Boy, White Knight for go to, you know. They can come up here upon me thing up on my YouTube channel, you know. I don't know when do peso. Read my previous comment, I'm going to read it. You understand? Come up here upon my YouTube channel and just change up on whole. Hey boy, White Knight, I know I come in my studio, can't change up nothing, you know. Madman, you know, I want to get rid of him, you know, but I can't. All right. Big up Miss Jacobs, you understand? Hey, Golden Eye, want. Yeah. Rick, is dancehall dying? Rick one side, cause you know music, you know. Cartel a try kill dancehall and save himself. You see, when I start talking about Cartel, you know, so Cartel a try kill dancehall and save himself. You understand? I don't know about that. But more I know dancehall in its current state. Reggae. The biggest thing I heard, I took from that discussion was the reggae music part. I couldn't believe. And then say, yo, change the title to what? Yeah, man can't tell me change title. Man, I change the title, man. What I'm to you? Title, all right. Just don't come and I steal the next time, can change up a word in my thing. Yeah, move so young boy. You see me? Where the link there? Because you're one of them who disagree with it with the comment that was made. And me and Babsy discussion. You see me as a night. You strongly disagree. You say, yo, according to White Knight, I'm going to put word in my mouth. You must say, yo, reggae went through a lot last year. One of the biggest year for reggae. This year last year. That would want.
Well, go on. Bless up in the daytime, you know.
All right, jump on the topic one time, Dawood. Big up to you, Dawood. I appreciate you calling in. Question me again now.
Yeah.
Is dancehall and reggae dying? Is it on live support?
Yeah, man, it's on the biggest, but not really live support, you know, because it have some artists still do some things, you know.
But
it can better, you know, it can better by now because, all right, remember, Movado them reach at them age and Cartel reach at them age and certain artists reach at them age. At time for the youth them to take over because when the youths are going really, are the youths on them time now, you know? Let's be real, are the youths on them time now? But
go ahead.
Them not sure me, you know, them not sure me them can take over this thing and all of this thing, you know. Nah, them not sure me, man.
So you agree that it's dying then? Because if the younger generation can't do it, that means it's truly dying. So Bob's right. Bob's right then. Because Bob's say that it's dying.
Me not go say it not go dead, you know.
No, you contradict yourself now. Because you say younger, you say nah, do nothing with it.
No, they not do
But it
what,
not go dead.
yeah, but it not go dead, man. Regardless, it not go die. It can't die out, man.
So it are just water down then.
It can water down. That's
Water
what
down. So
it can
till
water down.
it are water down like with LeBron James there now, without a team. I just the history LeBron James I live off and now.
Well, you sign him now?
Me sign who, LeBron? Yeah, me can sign him to a plastic bag deal that I always sign in can get. LeBron for go, man. So, yo, you may say that one.
Yeah.
You prove a point and then you contradict it. Because you say the younger youths them nah do what them supposed to do.
Yeah, and that
them
becomes
fall by the way. So if them a fall by the way, dying or evolving, that can make sense. But so if the younger youths they not perform and Cartel, Movado, Popcorn, even the Massacre and Alkaline, because them in their 30s, you know, who are going to follow them because the man them in their 20s, early 20s, then just do nothing.
No, but Michael, where you need for action? Can come up here and talk about say a youth and not prove nothing to him, man. And first of all, him agree say the music the genre they on a decline.
Yes.
And then him a go say the youth them do nothing. Right? As a big
Mr.
man.
Jacob. Yeah. Right.
Right?
Yeah.
No, you need to understand, Dawood, that a principle ingrained within the earth, right? When certain persons reach a certain status and they are considered legends or elders, their role is to mentor the upcoming generation, not to compete with them or fight them down.
Fact.
Right? So you come up here and come and talk about say the youth said that you're just echoing the same sentiment of the artist where you follow.
So here the question me I go ask you now.
No, here what me want to do now. Hold on. Because me not have long I deal with this. Me have a couple books that I want to send come here me can read, you know, because me need you to get some wisdom and speak with it.
I appreciate that comment here. I appreciate that comment, Lyric. Michael, like the topic. Please don't allow it to be derailed by the zesty boys. Yeah. I like that comment by Lyric. She talk truth. When she beat me, she beat me. So when she talk facts. Yeah, me now comment nobody derail it. A good topic this. Go ahead, reconcile.
First, as the youth them put out one tune, that would have selected if they want to play the youth and tune and I fight them down. And then I come and talk about say what are you doing? What are you doing, Dawood, as a selector to save the genre? That me want to hear.
Michael, me can't save the genre. Me cannot do it.
Okay. What help save? Them never say you alone are gonna do it, but what you are doing for help save? Because you're a selector.
Yeah. Michael, me can't save it. Me can't. All right. Well, the only thing me can do is play the good music, but other than that,
you can't stop. You can't stop big stop tear down the youth them when they put out their tune. You can't stop do that as well. That is also contributing to the decline and the increase in tribalism.
Michael, me want put out something. You know how much artists forward out from the younger generation and say them here to save dancehall up to now. Me not see them and do it. So the artists them need to do and so talk on the internet and talk about them as save, yeah. And up to now them can't save it. Them to stop.
Testing. You can hear me?
Yeah, man. Your fire phone I was good.
Reconcile. Wait the night. Cause something just coming out of the old brain, you know. Because yes, sir, Rick. The older artists when them reach certain age used to mentor the younger ones, them, right?
I mean, if you watch any movie, if
old boy like me,
no,
we no old boy like me didn't know, because you have Shabba and Ninja and then Beanie and Bounty come up under them, pass man under them. You see me I say, and then them was around them under them time there, and then Bounty bring in the scare them crew and something. Artists used to be around other artists and learn until Cartel come up under against Bounty and learn the alliance, they learn. and then Sir Popcorn them and learn against cartel and come up. But since the internet get so prevalent now, a man can stay in a bedroom and make a tune and put it out and then start make money and them them are artists. But they not put in the work to really push them craft, if that makes sense. Maybe the old boy just a chat fuckery. Go ahead.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, man, you're right, man. You're right.
You're right.
For
So
once,
that's why
right.
And this shows the separation when it comes to the generation of music. You see me? When it comes to the element of the dancer, which now I move towards more trap. You see me? So when you not learn from the elders, you not learn from the old producers, you not learn from the senior artists who know how to perform, who know how to deliver them lyrics for rhythm. You just go out there and put out your songs, to you have a laptop in your house. You're gonna lose a lot of the dancehall reggae element in the music. You see me?
Michael.
So they might say the genre dead per se, and we don't want to say we are not the young youths them, right? Because every time you criticize them and say fight against them.
Michael, go through. Me want to say something, Michael. It a go song a kind of way, but gatekeeping for go on, Michael. Gatekeeping for go on, and some of them think we not escape. Michael, gatekeeping for go on. Me I tell you the truth. I Ubex are for them business that if gatekeeping did still go on, certain nonsense could not go on. Michael, gatekeeping for go on, Michael. Me not vex. Gatekeeping for go on. I Ubex are for them business. Big gatekeeping for go on. What you mean?
Gatekeeping filter out the musicians from the people who just want to be stars. The one when I have no talent.
Public.
So me agree somewhat to that, DJ Dastic.
Yeah,
but to the question that Michael, me want to address.
Yeah. Okay.
Is reggae dancehall dying? No. It can't be.
Yeah.
Is it stagnant? Somewhat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's stagnant. It will pick itself back up. It will pick itself back up, yeah?
Oh,
Yo, go on then.
Oh, you might jump off and come back. Go ahead and public defender. Me hear what I say. Public defender, you hear me? If you not hear me, public defender, jump off and come back up. Come on, hear what I say, no public defender. You see me? All right, see there? See the public. Yeah, hear me, public.
Yeah, man.
All right, go ahead.
When you say the topic is reggae dancehall dying?
Yeah.
Music and a whole kind of in every aspect, in every culture, every genre. This is how the music is, bro. Rap when last I find a #1 song. Hip hop when last I hear a #1 song. So it's just a universal thing. We have more, back in the days we never have a platform like this for them and a talk at the time. TikTok, YouTube. So less people are gravitate to the music. No, even if you love your artist and you're not listening often, you spend more time on a panel like reasoning music than listening. So music on a overall scale, cause rap not find a #1 song in a while. Country music, hip hop.
What about Iceman? What there?
Hold on. When I mean for cut you, well, I trade that though.
No man, a public defender, man. Public defender. Go ahead.
Public defender.
Somebody attack Michael.
The point.
Yeah.
The point I want to know is what are the arguments for the topic? Say dancehall and reggae die. Now we can refute them, but we don't know if nobody actually say dancehall and reggae are dead. Right?
I had a discussion. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I had a discussion with Babsy, and she's reputable. I just put out the clip, the video yesterday.
She just a talk about a fucker, but go through stuff.
No, and it stirred up the place a little bit. You see me? So she put forth some points, and I would like her to come and expound on those points.
You remember 2 years ago when we said, hold on, 1 second, go on. 2 years Yeah, go through. Let's
Me
go
don't
on.
address. Me don't address traders. I say, listen, people's perspective can be fuckery. Let them have them opinion. You can't just dismiss people's opinion.
No, I mean not. Then because you have an opinion, it have to be credible or factual.
But you don't have to be
Eh?
fuckery either. Just
Yeah,
listen
then
to
if
it.
you're not
If you
credible
can
and
debate,
factual, no fucker, it's just a next word for
No man,
bullshit.
you are
we don't have to
credible for
use
her,
fuckery.
not
We
to be
can say
credible for you.
misguided or
Yeah.
we can say misguided, misinformed, or we can even say it's skewed. But what me I try to say is 2 year ago, 2 year ago, I sent Michael an article where a conglomerate promoters in Europe say, oh, that them not think them a go book. Them a go book the Jamaican artist no more. Them they list out a few reasons why them not do it, right? Fast forward to this year, where when I look on the data right, so it show say yo, Reggae Land, Reggae Lake, the respective summer reggae and dancehall festival, and the promoter them, I say are some of the best this year probably one of the best year them have in terms of turnout, in terms of fun feedback or feedback from the public, right? Not only that, if we go to the numbers, we could go to Luminate, everybody's favorite publication. Luminate tell us a dancehall or well, it's a reggae, because I normally lump reggae and dancehall into reggae. A 7% increase in US on-demand audio streams in the first half of 2026 compared to last year, the first half of last year, right? We'll look on 1.3 billion streams domestically meaning the United States. So
Yeah.
the growth there alone will show you say year over year, or in the last year at least, the musical growth, right? From a numbers perspective, but also with the amount of shows that we see overseas. Not only that, dancehall artists on a whole, where I see where the man them get some venues where for the last few years at least, one or two see dancehall artists are headline certain places, right? And in the stuck of 1 month, we see multiple artists I get it. Right? We could look on the young youth, them Skipper, we have Molly Dan, we have Valiant just go up on a tour in the States. Where
Yo,
Skilly
the
the
name again?
Vibes.
music,
Skilly.
yo,
Skilly, well
the
on it.
youth,
Skilly up
the
on a
youth
tour
make
right
a
now.
great point, brother. The music in a better place than back then. You know where people hold on to
Yeah.
this nostalgic moment because even, bro, even back in the music.
Yeah, break up chair. Yeah, sir.
But we
Yeah,
can
man, if you break
we
up,
can
man, make
Maka,
it
hold
the
on,
Mm.
we
finishing
can
point.
I jump
we
up.
can
Now,
we
How did
can
I make
break
them
the
point a while?
public
we can
defender
break
anyway,
down
break
the
up.
we can break down the perspective from two sides. We can break down the industry, the industry itself, or the business of dancehall and reggae,
Can I hear me
and we
now?
can break
Yeah, we
down
are
the
here, you know.
yeah, we're here, yeah.
Oh, continue you.
And
Continue.
we can break down the what you call it. We can break down how the dancehall enthusiasts, the people them in Jamaica, how them feel about it. But now another part they may touch on because music evolve, different fan bases either grow and leave the music. You see me? So for example, at Skipper now go be for Jamaica. But that no means say me go look on Skipper music and say I trash that. But me not talk about that side. Me just talk about the business side of it. In my perspective of somebody who live in the diaspora, the genre will grow. You see me? Me I hear and sit dancehall music in some space where I'm not gonna say it never did it before, because we have the 90s where dancehall reached some place. But Shenseea up on the World Cup soundtrack, right? We are see certain strides where individuals and the collective as a genre makes. So I'm not gonna say the business or the industry of reggae, including dancehall, I honestly can't say that in a 2026 that the
Yeah.
genre died. It would impossible to say that.
And for,
Too much
yo,
evidence there to that.
it crazy, bro. Because yo, even them youth they sell, them money I stream more, them money I get record, them money I sell more gold now. Bro, the music now and back then, brother, the only thing most people are hold on upon are the nostalgic moment.
No,
Because
You
you're
know
wrong when
what's
it
up?
come to you're wrong when it come to selling more gold. G. The whole
what you
artist
mean?
Well,
sell
you
more
know,
gold.
What you
hold
mean?
on,
All right, give me the
one
whole
last
One
artist
point. Hold
mic,
sell
on,
more
one
one
gold,
last
mic,
more
point
gold.
before you
one
move,
mic,
sir.
one mic, one
Hold
mic,
on,
please.
one last point
No,
before we go to the
can we
party.
context it and you show me how much gold selling at the 90s to now,
Hold on,
present
hold
moment.
on the trade. Before
Public
you jump to
defender
that point, there,
make dance all night finish in statement. No?
we just want to
Please.
close it one last point. Going back to earlier streams that we do, where I say, yo, we don't know who are gonna be the next general. I mean, a dancer after the current new kingdom, after the popcorn, the massacre, the alkaline. Who are the next youth them? When right now today, July 21st, 2026, we can look and say, well, say Dancehall kind of in a good hands. I'm saying in a good hands, I'm not talk Mercs and them young youth. I mean, I talk about if I'm Valiant, Skipper, Malid and etc. Them you they take them career in a certain way, we can say all right. To the future dancehall. A couple years ago, but I wonder where the future dancehall will come from. So as I say, in my opinion, dancehall okay. It is not dying. So I'm closing point this.
I agree with you.
Good evening, panel.
Good
Uh,
evening. Go ahead, Crazy, and then Dr. Mix.
all right. Dancehall and reggae not there, but probably they miss the fun side, like the clashing side. For instance, I just say Skipper, Valiant. Yeah, they might do good, but for instance, now Skipper and Malidan a clash. We would have looked forward now for December for Sting, for see the clash, see how the two artists then with the square out, see the lyrical battle, see the stage performance. Probably we're missing that side of it.
Okay.
But that speaks to the evolution, money. I'm crazy. That speaks to the evolution.
All right, Crazy. Stick up point. Stick up point.
Go ahead, Dr. Mix.
Yeah, go ahead, Dr. Mix.
Hey, so that's the point that I wanted to chime in on. I don't think that the genre is dying, but I agree that it is evolving. And evolution can often look like a battle, right? And I feel like we're at the point where this particular battle is between the numbers and the nostalgia or the music, right? So one side is pointing to, the streaming figures, the YouTube views, the sold out concerts and the social media engagement, as proof that the genre is still thriving. And then the other side is measuring today's music in modern dancehall, against the emotional impact of the past eras, or probably arguing that while the numbers may be bigger, the cultural weight and the originality and the timelessness aren't the same. And in reality, I feel like both perspectives are a part of the truth of what's happening in dancehall. Streaming can definitely quantify popularity, but it can't measure how deeply a song, becomes woven into a generation's identity. The nostalgia can remind us of what made the genre special, but it can also make it very difficult to appreciate how the music continues to evolve, right? I hope I'm making sense and it don't sound like a babbling. But I feel like we're just in that particular point of the evolution process where, one set of people, probably like people like me, is holding on to the nostalgia and missing, what the genre used to make us feel and the vibration of the music of, previous eras. And then this new generation is pushing heavily into numbers and those kinds of industry standards to prove that the music is still necessary. And I just feel like it's in the middle. It's just a battle, and until it settles and we find, a balance between both, then it's gonna probably look like it's dying, but it's not dying. It's just in the heat of that battle of evolution between the numbers and the nostalgia.
Oh, okay.
I agree. And we have to take into consideration too as well, right? When the reggae and dancehall broke out in the mainstream, right? It had a feel, it had a look. It's not gonna look and feel the same way now, right?
Yeah,
20,
And,
30
and,
years down in the future.
yeah,
and dancehall music wasn't just built off of streaming alone.
right,
The
right.
industry really
And we have to,
wasn't, when dancehall exists, there wasn't any streaming. It wasn't that, you know what I mean? So people, it's just a lot to it, brother. Me, I listen to your conversation.
yeah. You also
Yo,
have to remember, panel, that one of the cons of pushing numbers is a sacrifice of creativity. And that sacrifice of creativity is automatically going to impact the nostalgia and the timelessness that we would get from the music. And so we have a younger generation that's heavily invested in getting big hits by numbers and not necessarily by impact. So they just want to make sure that they have a song that gets to #1 on the charts, and it's doing a lot of Spotify numbers, a lot of Apple Music, whole heap of views, and they consider it a hit because that's the conversation that we are pushing in the space, if we're being honest, right? But then, as you guys, I often hear you guys complain about, is why is it that when the song drops after a month, we don't hear anything about it? It's because the generation is drugged up on dopamine of making something just hits, it feels good, we get addicted to it, we wreck it out for a moment and then it goes. So it diminishes the timelessness and the impact that the music can possibly have, because now the younger generation has to be putting out music like crazy just to be able to keep up with how we are consuming the music now. So a lot of things have changed. It's not just the artist, it's how we are consuming the music. We're asking for more, we're demanding more, and so then that's automatically going to push our younger artists into a space of a treadmill where they feel like they need to constantly be putting out, and then because they have to sacrifice creativity for numbers, it's going to impact how we feel about the music as well. So it's a whole heap of things, and I feel like everybody's point is pretty valid.
Correct.
Can I ask a quick question?
Go ahead.
Cause someone said something about America rappers not getting #1. But as someone saying before the numbers, I swear America was doing like rap battles and like certain little their cultural things. But they're
Them
still
still the
doing
rap
that.
battle.
They're still doing that.
No, music is selling, man. Music is selling. You just have to find the music. You have to find the song. If I don't, if
So
people keep on saying music,
why we now as dancers we are losing our clash culture, our clash, like it
No,
look
we
like we're
not.
losing that
No,
side.
no, we can't. We can't. All right. To me, all right. Here we go. Dancehall was an underground genre, you know. In terms of, we had nothing more back then to think about, you know. Now the youth them now the youth them have a go arena, the youth them a go on different platform, different festival, major greater good than before. You think the man them go focus on clashing when him can get 100,000 for a show, 250,000 for a show, him can get going a different environment where the average dancer too much opportunity is there now than back then. So man I go
I
Yes.
mean,
focus on the bigger picture than
So
if you go
okay.
clash with a man on
I
stage.
mean,
So
I
What
mean,
will
looking
happen
Jacob,
wait
is
wait
that
wait
just
wait
Let's
stop.
do
wait wait
dopamine
wait
over
what
wait
culture
what
then.
wait
Dopamine
wait
what
over
wait
no
culture.
wait
As
no no
Dr.
hold
Mick
on
said.
hold on
wait
bro.
let me just
Clashing
mention
yo
something quickly.
hold on. Let me just finish
Make
now,
sure
bro.
make sure you finish them, Jay.
Yeah, finish here. And then
What me I
Miranda
try
comment here.
what me I
Can you
try
make
to
you
say?
make a point, a good point, Jay.
Clashing not define dancehall. Another way I get wrong. We have to do what we have to do at the time. Get when you clash a sting back in the days, you get book right back till December again. So that was the main focus. That would have been a major success for your career. Now, as I said before, so many other things is there to do. The world is bigger than for
But
clash a sting or
all
clash a champion in action or whatever. We
right,
fi stop surround clashing with
all right,
dancehall, brother.
quickly now.
Cause more
All right,
things there for do for that.
forget the class side. Quickly. Look
One,
at
one
them
second,
now.
1 second, please. 1 second. Let me read Shower Alliance Crooks. Thank you for the donation. They just need to learn how to tie the trap dancehall with the original, and it will work. That is the style Massacre is using. Big up yourself, Shower Alliance Crooks. Go ahead,
What I was gonna say,
friend.
look at Cartel and Movada. Look at the outcome, probably the revenue they pull in. Skipper and Malidan suppose management team supposed to look and say, raw. No, a sting, we can probably pull a 60,000, 70. You understand the buzz that's around it
And that
as
no
a
make no
business,
sense either, my
as
dog.
why?
That
As business?
2008. Look on the music, 2008. Look on the music, Different from Sting. What was the biggest platform for your two dancehall artists have? The two biggest dancehall artists. What was the platform? Them youth and I forgot to Sting, brother. The man them a pull 3K by themselves, 4K by themselves. You understand me? I say,
I
we
think what
can't
Trey, I
look
think
on
what
it
Trey I
like that,
say,
bro.
think Trey say you can move.
opportunities
one day,
be in
yeah,
the
but what?
music, father. We
Yeah,
cartel
but
and
what me I
number
say,
do
see, the other day,
2008. Well, we cartel and number do 2008. No, any artist when a lyrical feud right now cannot do that, bro. They can't do it
but
because
what I'm not
time and
sure,
things at the 2008 Jamaica different from 2026. And that when I mix up the when I just
sure,
a talk about the moment and not the time. Talk about the
sure,
two time span them, bro.
clashing is very important, better than a dancehall. Can't
No,
take that.
yes, well on,
But what,
well on.
but,
That's why
we
I
are
say
not
you have
sure,
to context it.
but we are not sure,
2008, yes, clashing was important. Does it
but we are
important
not sure,
now in a
but we are not sure, because
2026 or
but we
2026?
are not,
No.
but we are not sure, we are not sure. And you go say, man, busy and whole heap of things are going, brother. The two biggest rappers in the world when a hip hop clash one year, yeah. And for a
When them
moment,
clash? When them clash?
not Drake and Kendrick, brother, go back and forth, brother. Song for song. Song for song, and
But
one of them take off.
Chip,
You
And that
but
was
Chip,
and that wait, hold
you
on,
not
no, no. And
understand, man.
those
Go
get no
through.
brother, and those was two monster people. But he didn't have to pay them one of them
I'm
no
Brother, in
attention.
a rap,
Trey,
brother, rap
Trey,
man
let me
always
reply
a
to
go
Chip.
back and forth with people in a rap.
Trey, let
That
me
no
reply
know.
to
Them
Chip
now
on.
go
Let
up
me
on a
reply to
stage
Chip.
and them thing there, bro.
No, the only reason we say
Yo,
that change
Chip,
just because you say them busy and successful and man have all it's a go up and just
hold
say
on there. Chip,
them have stuff go on and
Chip,
them still clash.
Chip. Remember add to a Trey. Remember add to a Trey. I say using the point where you bring up, right? Yes, sir. Kendrick and Drake do what them doing at 2024, right? But it's not
Yeah.
lost on me or the industry of music to realize, say, right after that is the first time in 15 years, rap as a genre, hip hop as a genre, slipped from the number one spot, right? And we see where country music overtook it from, I said, the maybe the third quarter of 2024 to maybe no, right? So if you ask people within the industry of hip hop, they will tell you, say, okay, for Drake fans and Kendrick fans, that was a good moment, but collectively, it wasn't a great moment for the genre of hip hop. Because one, it divides the genre. It's either you're dip on the side or you're over the side. And what Trey try to
How
say
much
is
tour cancel
dancehall
and
start
then
out
sitting there.
yeah,
Fuck that, brother.
dancehall start out as a grassroots thing, right? It's a reflection of circumstances within life. So back in the day when a sound string up and two man a DJ upon a sound. And that's a dance hall there right now. That no means say you have to get the roots of the culture, the roots of the genre or the beginning of the genre.
Dance all
It just
past
means that
them
it
game
evolved.
already.
The same way nobody now said the hippie to the same way another that go on in a hip hop, but the genre hip hop progressed and nobody now said, John, no, nobody now wearing no fillers no more, nobody now wearing a shirt to Adidas. The music I got progress, but that no means so we'll leave or we forget clashing. Clashing still about,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it
When
just not
I say
upon
enough for
sting
clash,
anymore. It's
yo,
in a
me
Yeah,
I say the
different
man enough for clash, you know, bro.
even when you go
Even
say hip
even
hop,
even the
even when you
man
go
them wanna say, even the 90s dancehall wanna talk about, bro. The 90s dancehall wanna say bigger than now and bigger than when, bro. Them man, what the biggest place them man they go when they come to America? Build more ballroom.
but me
Them a
not
youth
understand,
have a
me not
bigger
understand
place
say
than
yo.
them man.
Even when you go say the
Them man
hip hop
I go
music
from bigger
overall.
platform than them look man there. A
But
different
but
timing, bro.
the diaspora grow as well too, you know, from those
No,
times.
that yeah,
But
then
what
that's
on
why I say
So
same like how
so you act
but
you act
even
no Jolanda, you act like say be white people are gonna be are going to the Barclays or be a Hispanic are going to the Barclays. And the diaspora grow. So them have space to put the consumers of music into now.
so
You get
yeah
what I
tell me
say?
say so no man could have full
The genre
no
wasn't
man
that
could have
big that time.
full out one big parking lot them time in a foreign.
Yeah, of course.
But nobody never did that. As I mean, we just I say that
Them,
to say
them time that the music is better, and it just get exposed to the wider public.
why
And
you
people
say
didn't love
music
it. And
better
the
back then?
quality of the music was better. The quality of the music better back then. People want to hear those, they love those songs. The artists were putting out quality music.
and most of the man them have
So
flood the arena now are the people that have the quality songs.
yeah, so yeah, if
hold on
some
there, cool night.
And hold on, not only wait, no,
me
not
put a
only
point to
that.
what night I say.
Hold on, no, not only that, them
Mm,
back Cadillac, make them have the full out arena right now. And them new
exactly,
Cadillac are the new
exactly.
song. And them song with
And
them
to
do
add,
from 10 years ago. I put them
yeah,
in some places today.
The
and to add
question
on
on
night
the
did I
screen
say
is a
night?
very good question.
Big up
Oh,
Canambo.
yeah,
Night,
Rambo.
night. When it comes to
Yo,
the sale and the something the hip hop music nowadays, right? I can look from my perspective and what I'm looking and seeing the trends of the industry. Remember, dancehall and hip hop are the two most violent music right now in
That's
any
a good
two
point.
genres, right? The white people who consume the music, who goes to these festivals, are moving away from that. They don't want to hear that.
That's a
That's
true.
why
That's a
contemporary
true.
and the country music are going #1. These people are moving away from these types of music. So the quality of the music watered down somewhat because of what we are push.
And you know what
Bro,
funny? You know what funny? Go on the tree. Golden Ivy. We just say a while ago with regards to the aggressiveness of the genre. Me I watch Varda and Cartel perform at Sunfest the other night, and me and Med say some of them song there, or a majority of them song, this are the first time I hear them sing them song upon stage, which means that when them go there to the wider public, whether that's the diaspora or the people who are indifferent, they don't necessarily select the clash song them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Them select the song them where touch on other different topics. I mean, so
Yeah.
okay, if one of the Gully versus Gaza Sunfest edition, which other stage show would I hear them sing here upon? Nowhere else. Because as I said a while ago, the wider public, them not too major and the minor, right? Them not too care about the dibble double and the look of yo, SMR over this rate it is. That's a good point to it as well, right? The aggressiveness only placates to or it acquiesce that appease a certain subsection of
Base
the listenership
genre.
or the
Yeah.
base, but for the wider appeal of the music is not necessarily a good thing.
Nah, but remember saying no. That's why when I go in a clash, the artists usually when I go in a clash, it's always to come back with a hit song after. Attention the fire, you know. So it's always
Hold
that
on.
moment you're supposed to find a hit song within that moment, you know. Where you take on not for all the audience. Where you're supposed to find a song. Because remember when I go in a clash, everybody's eyes are on you. The world media depend on the ground I watch everywhere. So at that time they're supposed to find a good song. Most of the time artists always do that. I just them even one year when Tamale Massacre go a clash. Everybody look for Tamale come up with a find a hit song. He put out song after song, but none of them never hit to the crowd.
Yeah,
But
man.
here what the thing,
How you
Chip. So you
expect a man
say
to put
coming
out
out.
one chip and a man goes over this? You know, you must tell saying
Hold on,
goes over this.
hold on,
no, but no. But the two
hold on,
when
don't
the
straight
two
preach it,
artists
don't
them,
straight,
yo, the two
don't straight
artists them
preach
not
it.
find out it.
But he
Hold
put
on,
out
yeah,
but he put
Rambo,
out like
yeah,
six
Rambo,
songs. He put out like
Lalabella,
six
and
songs.
Eustace.
He put out like six
Hold
songs
on,
after the clash, trying to find a
Yeah.
hit
hold
song.
on,
You
the
know that.
last.
No, that's not what we are talking about, Chip. Keep it.
Hold on, the
Is it
Michael. I know you
dying?
do.
No man, I ain't listening to
Okay.
that conversation, man.
When me do what me change the topic or what? Put me question and this answer.
No. We just look on the panel, man. Go through.
Oh yeah. Yo, Lalabella, use this.
Big up, Michael, and big up everyone on the panel,
Mm-hmm. Address the
Yes,
topic.
salute.
Is
Salute.
dancehall and reggae music dying?
Or dancer.
Well, would say dancehall catch back a little buzz, but I wouldn't say reggae dying because I think Bob Marley is still upholding reggae music and it's still across the board same way. So it's hard to use the word between the two culture. It's hard to say them dying for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to say that because once Bob Marley still there on top, there is no way I could come up and say reggae had died. And I can see that dancehall is catching back a little buzz by people in mentioning dancehall and it are going good. We might be now see the stage show like how would I see it in the dancehall, on the dancehall side, on the reggae, but the reggae still do them things same way. And maybe people might think that way they say it had died because we don't really have much people for YouTube really come and highlight reggae like that. But not because we don't really have enough people come on YouTube highlight reggae. We are gonna say, boy, reggae is dying. I would never use that because as long as Bob Marley is still there, reggae I go still up on top for me. That is my opinion. Speaking though.
Okay. I am Lalabella.
Yes, salute, Michael.
Michael,
Yeah, big up. Yo.
You
can I ask
says
a quick question?
Yeah.
Can I ask a quick question?
Okay, ask a quick
Right.
question and then Lalabella go ahead.
Is it because some of them trap artists or new dancer artists then can sing on live bands? For instance, like some of the old dancer artists, for instance, are perform with reggae artists and them can sing on the bands, and them can sing in it on band. Is it because of that? Really?
That plays a part, yes, but wait. Make we hear what Lalabella say. Go ahead, Lalabella.
Yeah, Michael, salute to you and salute to all on the
Salute,
panel
salute. Bless up to
and,
everybody.
Salute to everybody.
and in the chat. Like reggae has been dead in Jamaica for in excess of 20 years, almost 30 years or something, right?
Oh God, go ahead, please.
Come on, man. Really,
No, make
brother.
him talk. No,
Hold
make
on,
him
hold
talk,
on.
please make him talk.
So, for example, right, you have languages, right, and you have some languages that refer to as dead languages, like Latin. No, there are a lot of Latin words out there. Some people can speak Latin, but for all intents and purposes, it's dead. It's not growing. It's not providing any utility. That's what reggae is. So when we say reggae is dead, we're not saying that no one is playing it. When you look at the fact, to Eustace's point, Bob Marley is the person who's dominating reggae, a man who's been dead for approximately 40 years, or
Yeah.
in excess of 40 years. And
Yeah.
he is the one that's dominating the dancer reggae. That doesn't speak to some the genre is dead in the sense that it's not growing. It's been stagnant, actually it's been shrinking for several decades. And when we say dead, it's dead, that's what we mean.
Well, on the
And,
Lalabella, you mean
No,
reggae, or you include dancehall in that, or you specifically attack reggae?
so
that's specifically to reggae, and I want to touch on
Okay.
dancehall.
but
I want
Lala,
to touch
no,
on
we
that.
forgot upon me. I have a question to ask before you move from this. So when you say reggae is dead, so you telling me I said Bob Marley. So you said after Bob Marley, even 20 years ago, there is no great artist that come out of reggae within the last 20 years that push the
No,
music.
well, all right, good question. The genre is dead in the sense that the tangible references that one would use to speak to growth, we are not seeing any growth in those areas. That doesn't mean that from a craftsmanship that there aren't individuals who are good. The problem is that what Bob Marley was doing in 1970s, early 80s, performing in front of 105,000 people, we have not seen that
Yo, Bob
within
Marley never
reason since then.
hold on, bro. Hold on. Una fi stop. Brother, Bob Marley got
Okay.
invited to a independence.
Okay, Trey, hold on. Let me tell you
Not
something.
no.
Which show
Bob
am I
Marley
talking
never
about? Which
get.
show am I talking about, Trey? I'm not talking
Not
about
sure.
Rhodesia.
We sure that. Well,
In a
we sure
Rome, in a Italy,
Bob
in
Marley get
Italy,
booked for perform in front of 105 people,
105
100,000.
people, and some estimate as much as 120,000 people.
So not true.
You're not mindful of that?
No, go
That's
on. Me
correct. That's
never know
correct,
about that.
Trey. That's
Go on,
correct,
go
Trey.
on.
Yeah, we've heard Marcia Griffiths talk about it.
We.
And sorry,
No, go ahead.
you know what I mean. And the Pope had an event the very same day, the same weekend, and the majority of those people went to see Bob Marley in lieu of the Pope. I'm not too sure if you guys fully understand this history. Trey, I have a question for you though. You spoke to arena venues today as an indicator that dancehall is growing, and then you pointed toward the 1990s when artists were performing at these smaller venues. Do you know why they performed at those smaller venues versus arena venues in the 90s?
Sure. Question for you.
Yeah, where's the go through? Sorry about that. Yeah, hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are here good now.
You
To me, we just never have investors. We just never have person willing to invest in a reggae for book, no artist in a bigger venue.
have you factored in that dancehall and reggae dancehall in particular was blacklisted in America at that time? And if
What
you
that?
lived in America at the time,
Mm-hmm.
you would be aware of the fact that we couldn't get these creme de la creme venues to rent as long as it's dancehall is a genre as far as the artists are concerned. Are you familiar with that?
No, not that time now. Yeah, tell me something now.
So that's what really
So how would you look
sorry.
at sorry, but now I got but other ask, how would you look in the in Shaggy time them when they're hitting like the number one and the Hot 100 and selling all these records in those times. How would I look at those people not seeing arena in their time? How would I look at them? I wouldn't want to go back so far, but I would only use these two artists because they are not that far from what we are now.
Arenas, right? This new notion of arena venues, solar venues, and so forth. It's largely a function of hubris.
Mhm.
Shaggy, right? Sold as well as he did. The same for Sean Paul, because they had a strategy that they executed, and clearly based on the numbers, it did bode well for them. So to the extent that we're focusing on arena as being the end, as opposed to expanding the genre, selling and so forth, I think that's myopic. And Shaggy, contrary to what I've heard on social media, they did perform at arena level venues and even larger venues then too. So this
Well,
this
what
this
I'm
this
saying, I'm talking of like soul. I'm not really like saying like as it would have said enough artists performing arenas, but like
uh-huh.
become a. Let me correct myself clear when me I say still, cause me know you get misunderstanding what I'm saying. That when I'm talking about like the solo arena back in the days between these, cause we used to have these two guys in the early 2000 coming straight up as the two biggest thing that come out of Jamaica. And some crowd that we used to see them, I used to believe that they're the one that pull it. So we used to have Sean Paul and Shaggy as a high standard in Jamaica. Believe me, when it come on to soling out shows.
So
So
are you of the view that these men weren't attracting these large audience of their own volition?
yes, that I was saying. So why they never have that solo moment like this arena talk? That I think this arena talk should be killed by these two artists that we could never talk about, and I try compare Cartel with these two men that sells what is selling record right now when it come on to arena. So I was saying why these two men never have that solo run in their hot time that they were selling records.
Again, like for example, the focus in music has seldom
Big up Babsy. Thank you for
has
joining.
seldom. I think it's myopic to just focus on solo performances, right? And here's the
Mhm,
problem: a lot of individuals, like for example, I've heard the discourse pertaining to solo artists and Massacre is probably gonna need help, else he won't sell out the venue. And in
mhm.
the same breath, these same people would castigate Sean Paul and Shaggy for so-called not giving anybody a strength. But how else do you provide strength to people if you want to so-called do this solo venue? You have to understand, to grow the genre, you have to graft onto other genres and other artists. So that's what they were doing. If you understand that most people within our demographic,
Yeah.
they don't have the disposable income to purchase music to the tune that Sean Paul and Shaggy were able to sell. So you know what they did? They went into a space wherein they can inform those consumers to purchase their music. And that's what they were doing. So I think you guys just do not understand what they were doing. And what we see now is a function of hubris, where we're arguing about arena venue, not understanding the context of what Shaggy and Champa were doing versus individuals today. Not the
And
industry, not the
Lalibela,
ecosystem. Go ahead, sir.
add to what you're saying, I agree with you that it's very, you said myopic, so very nearsighted, right? Because Eustace, to highlight something else to you, it says one thing to be able to perform in front of your fan base, your audience, right? They will
Mhm,
come out and see you. But if you can get booked on a festival, right? One,
yeah.
that means the promoter sees that there's an ROI for booking you on this festival. Two, if you can perform for to an unknown crowd or even a crowd, okay, we're not come to see you, we come to see Madonna, we come to see Beyonce, but you know what? I'm gonna get a Sean Paul youth here, listen. I'm gonna get a Shaggy youth here, listen. But now I go to the bathroom and listen to what I must say right now. That to me is commendable, right? That's
Yes, I
also how
agree
you
with you,
grow. That's how
White
you
Knight.
grow the
I
music
wouldn't
and
go
move it
against your.
and
But make sure that the artists have song though. Make sure that the artists have songs that the world want to hear though. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
But team, but
You can't carry artists go up on stage show and him have few songs, but then the song don't make no sense. We see Sean Paul beat with Ching Ching and where Ching Ching career go. Come on.
no, well, that's a different point. What man says, they
different
wouldn't be
topic.
booked for a festival in the early 2000s, the 2010s, if you didn't have a radio hit, right? Which means the two artists were looked on, Shaggy and Sean Paul, they had known songs, which meant the promoter say, okay, you know what? Get me the better they from over VP Records. Get me the better they from Def Jam. Want them, either them go, even if them go open the festival, we still see an opportunity where we can make a return on investment for booking him. So what I say is, we not look on it and say, but we never see Sean Paul the 20 solo arena shows. Fine, but we see him going at we see him go Coachella, we see him go at a festival in our city, in our state where you probably can't find 5 black people over there, but the crowd are singing songs same way. Me not go look on that and I say, I know you're a show, or somebody bring you up on the show. Me go look on the fact say, you go out there go perform, and based on your performance, we get 10 more fans, we get 100 more fans, 1,000 more fans. The DJ, the local DJ say, you know, somebody at the festival the other day, and this Shaggy brother, he rock the crowd, you know, me go play some more music. Oh, while some other people in the genre, we in wonder, okay, oh, the Sizzler guy. So what I say is, you can perform in the echo chambers where your fans are come out, come see you, but I'm going to applaud the artists them where you go in unknown grounds and deliver, because that's how the music grew.
All right. Babsy.
Hey,
Babsy.
good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Good afternoon, well and okay.
Bless up, Empress Babs.
Yes, sir. So who wants to beat me up now? Who want to box me up?
Nobody know how beat you. That nah me as some man. No for my nobody know how beat you or something.
But
Lala Bella, I'll bring you back.
White Knight, what I want to say though, because in their point, why themselves like couldn't do an arena tour in the artist moment of their career.
Listen, Michael, go move forward from this thing.
Yeah,
go down the road there.
For real.
No disrespect.
Remember say we are talking about dancehall, you know. So the point
one of the arena contest with nobody right now.
I no contest. It's just that we are trying. What I'm saying is that all right, if we are using, because we are talking about dancehall and we're talking about reggae. That's what we are talking about, right?
The collective genre. So we don't want nitpick.
All right, remember, I know. The question is the question me here, Michael asked me, is reggae dying or dancehall dying?
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, what me want to find out is, the question me want to ask if they could have pulled these persons, is dancehall would that be bigger than what it is today? Because I still dancehall they want to bring it back to. If they could have pulled, if Sean Paul and Shaggy in their prime, either those solo arenas, would people that look on dancehall on a different level before? No. But not talk about like because if we look on it, most people that say dancehall leader dead.
You're asking if the general public, or you mean the white collar side, right? So you have, if the record label them would invest more into the genre.
Yes, the white side, because I'm saying, because we keep saying that, because the reason why I really
when I say white side, I mean white collar meaning the boardroom, the CEOs, the executives. If them would invest in it.
But why would they invest into something when the other artists if we follow up, not follow through like Sean Paul and Shaggy do? Why not invest in?
I think that's what Eustace is trying to understand. Why he must say, if they were able, I'm not saying I agree with him. He must say, if they were able to do, I would say some. But you know the thing, Eustace, because even if they never do an arena show, on the other side of it, them sell the records, them hit the charts. So them hit them specific KPIs for ensure that ROI that upon the respective label deal with them get. So I'm not going to criticize them and say, okay, you never do a solo show.
But you never do a straight the argument. So
one man.
I'm responding to the White Knight. But
yeah, finally.
Point. In those times when these artists were in their peak, right? dancehall music in general, reggae music was blacklisted. So certain venues them couldn't go in there, bro.
That's also a good
Remember,
point as
remember,
well.
remember
But
we
that
did
we
I
did
get
talk
fight,
about
you know?
last week.
Yeah, remember we did I get wicked fights.
Okay.
So
Babsy.
So the question would have asked then, how you da look at the growth of dancehall now, and how you da look at the growth at reggae now, 2026, where we in and now? How would you see dancehall and reggae at this moment? Because it today I talk about. I mean, I really want to stray the argument out
Yeah.
because we didn't want to come back to it, but I will just try using some point to have a knowledge to why dancehall is not where it is. But no, so now I go down there.
Yeah.
So we'll leave it at that. So the question is, I may ask now, how would I look at reggae and dancehall? Where we see dancehall hat now, or where we see reggae hat now?
The question for you, Babsy.
The question for me?
Anyone
Yeah.
can answer.
Yeah, I put it to Babsy because
Okay.
where do you see reggae music now and dancehall music now?
Okay, so let's step back a bit so that we can kind of understand my thought process behind all of this, so that everyone can kind of see where I'm coming from. When you look at the late 80s, early 90s, you see Dennis Brown, Gregory Isaacs, John Holt, Barris Hamid. They were just as big as Josie Wills, Lieutenant Stitchie, Papa San, Supercat, etc. Right? So you had this very equal balance on both sides, where you had strong reggae artists and you have strong dancehall artists, right? Now, pushing forward to today, you don't have in reggae right now a Gregory Isaacs, Dennis Brown, John Holt, Freddie McGregor. You don't have that. Can we agree to that? On the reggae side of things in Jamaica, you do not have the superstar power of a Dennis Brown, Gregory Isaacs, etc. in reggae right now.
Yeah, Babsy, me not cut
Lala Bella, click on Lala Bella.
Michael, me not cut Babsy now, but Babsy,
Yeah.
when it's to me, when I said that question, me feel like it's just different generation, but we do have those people, you know, in a different generation and time, you know. We do have some major artists out there where push reggae music, you know. And we can't forget the Chronics, even then I put on a song from me, you have the Coffee, you have the Protege, you have all these top big artists where do things in the music. It's a different phrase, yeah. Go ahead.
They're doing that as individuals. They're not doing that as a movement. Right? Reggae was a movement in 2003 to 2008 when you have what I was saying on my interview with Michael, the Chuck Fender, Fantan Moja. You don't have that movement. There's no movement of a group of people pushing out, and they're all highly popular tunes running on radio, tunes running the ground. You don't have that. Right now you have Yaksta.
But Babsy, was that movement by happenstance, or was that a deliberate push or a deliberate movement? Meaning, was there, I don't want to use the word label, but was there planning behind that movement, or it just so happened that okay, we have 6 reggae stars at the same time, and we using hindsight we're calling it a movement when in fact it was just okay, 6 reggae superstars at one time? Or was there a definitive decision to say okay, let's push these people at once without using the word label or corporate backing, or just something that happened by chance?
I think it happened by chance, but I think it's actually in the reverse. So it's not saying for reggae, like, let's group all these people together and make it a movement. It's the reverse. It's like, let's stop these people from making a movement now. So it's flipped from, okay, you have Sizzler, Anthony B, Norris Man, yada 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 in the late 90s, and they're pushing forward reactively. The other side now, which is the dancehall side, is proactively trying to shut down the reggae side.
But I think,
Babsy,
what I think that causing the problem in this generation when it come on to reggae though, I think is because of these younger reggae artists that is coming up is not getting the highlight like the older artists used to get. And I think that is what Carson it, because if you notice in reggae, you have a lot of person where win Grammy now in reggae. And if you check them out, they are not even from Jamaica.
Right.
So,
But Babsy, never
so
question for
sometimes,
Should that matter?
Wait.
so somebody want to say something different?
No,
All
me
right.
when I finish, Mr. Man, ask Babsy a question when I finish, you says.
So
Does it
that's the
matter?
reason why I'm looking at reggae, like, and the next thing that is happening to reggae music to me, we don't have this type of energy like how you'd have dancehall energy on YouTube, where you have person out here where would have a reggae artist what they're pushing, like how they would have people out here where have a dancehall. So that's the reason why sometimes we might feel like reggae is not going nowhere, or it's because of whatever. But I just believe say because nobody now, if you notice, you hardly see a reggae artist even on social media. I highlight their song and I push their song to the world. Mostly you see who I do that is a dancehall artist.
Right.
But when they put out their album, when the reggae artists put out their album, they're still even selling greater than even the one that we show themselves most of the time on social media. So we still have to look at that too and know saying reggae music is still alive as well.
Okay, I'm gonna say something.
I can respond to something before Babs.
Yeah, go ahead. For sure.
Before we move on from the point. In relation to what you're saying about the artists of back in the days when it comes to reggae and the music that they were pushing out, and there were like 6-7 artists. I think we have to take into consideration like music is always in a cycle, right? And the masses are the people who consume the music. You know, their taste for music changes in a while. So you have a surge of reggae music here, and it dominate the space, and then you have a surge of dancehall, and it dominate the space. I just think the cycle got turn where the reggae artists are going to emerge and dominate the space for a while. We just have to just wait it out.
Babsy, what about the thing? The older artists, them never was about money. I feel like these new Rasta, them all about money. So you kind of segregate the thing, because that kind of segregate as well, you know. Money and
say that cheap, I wouldn't use that to justify a reggae artist.
No, what I mean, no, we not talk about dance, I'm not talk about the reggae side.
At the reggae side, I would have said that what you just said. And the
but
reason
hold on, but not to finish it, you said. Hold on, you says. Remember, you know, the name them, the reason why I come up with, the reason why I said that, you know, the name them a Babsy call, you know. Those older artists, brother, them never was about what these young artists about. It was just one.
But what you mean, me not understand what you mean. You have to highlight when you say the generation back then never like want. Me not understand that part there. And
because
then
even now with the reggae artists, them now blaze the fire like where Sizzler them and them the blaze.
You see, that's where
them ding on the fire there to go certain places, while the other artists them 15, 20 years ago, them now didn't the fire to go certain places. Them now didn't fire to get certain accolades. Them now didn't fire to get certain check.
And that's the reason why some reggae artists to the day will never wish for Bob Marley there, because when you look on Peter Touch, I think Peter Touch is a greater singer than Bob Marley, whether that person will agree with me or not, right? And the reason why Peter Touch is not where he is because of his music that he used to sing back then. And people, the younger artists that is rising now, realize this. Even in the dancehall, it happen now. If you notice, you understand, you have person that come out because person want to go further, because if you're going to stay at Jamaica, what the money and the fame? Remember say, it also for money, you know. Because nobody now sing and now want make no money. So you couldn't use the fact say, okay, but then them never do it for money. Yes, they were doing it for money.
But you said some artists never want to do it for money. Them do it for the love. Money come after. Some man not do music for money, you says. After money coming up.
A long time music before me and your band, and it was about money. Maybe if money get more better now than their days, but it was all about money.
Hello. Give me a chance. Yo, give me a chance.
No, man, Michael, will slip on track, man.
Yeah, man. All right, go ahead, architect. Me hear what you say.
Who talk about money? No money involved, brother. Because that's why enough of the artists them get robbed in the 80s and the 90s, because it was all about the artists them, it was all about love. Me as a upcoming artist in back them time there, me go studio go sit down and wait for just my voice. Yes, so my voice in the studio, me not think about say when the producer cut the record, he do over 20,000 copy and say no, me not get no money out of it, and the producer alone get money out of it. You know, me make my money off a stage show.
70% of the other artists them broke right now till this day. Just really want them have money.
How do you see that argument what they're putting forth? White Knight, how do you see this argument that they're putting forth? Nothing to say about it, guys?
But
No,
here
well,
I go on.
no,
But
no,
here I
no,
go on. On the aspect of the reggae music, me agree what Babsy say. You know the reason me agree what Babsy say about the reggae music dying?
Yeah.
You have 100% pure reggae artists, which you will call those the elders like Barry Salmon, Dennis Brown, the singers, right? Them just will stick on the acoustic mostly, not the hardcore dancehall beat, right? But you have the hardcore dancehall artists them know which are hardcore, but guess what? They are slash reggae artists because them do reggae as well. You understand me? Remember you have hardcore dancehall, Bounty Killer and Beanie Man, but remember say they were doing reggae. Vibes Cartel have a lot of reggae songs just the same. Alkaline Vice Man reggae rhythm just the same.
Buju Banton did the same way.
But guess what, me know? These new generational Gen Z artists, you know let them go up on no reggae rhythm.
It's hard to refute Babsy's claims, and I haven't heard any cogent argument to contradict her claims.
Hold on, I don't want to refute it. I just need clarification from Babsy on something. Well, 2 points. 1 point for Eustace. Eustace, earlier you said that majority of who get nominated or who win the reggae Grammy is non-Jamaicans. I need to correct you on that, because sometimes we let the narrative spread and permeate the ethos, and then it becomes the believed reality. That's incorrect. That's incorrect, right? Majority of who get nominated and win the Grammys actually are Jamaicans, homegrown Jamaicans, yard-based Jamaicans. So we need to look at the narrative. They say more Europeans or Americans or Californian ones that win reggae Grammys. That's not true. The second part, Bobsy, earlier you mentioned that you see it as that the dancehall is currently trying to push out or eradicate the reggae side. Could you clarify or expound on that part?
Okay, so basically, previously, reggae and dancehall always coexisted as kind of like a yin and yang. So, like you said, there was cycles. So, at some points in time, reggae was the stronger genre, and then other points in time, dancehall was the strongest genre, right? 2003 to 2008 was reggae's last hardcore run, meaning there was a movement, everybody was involved. You had the whole Junior Gong, Welcome to Jam Rock, that era. That's the last time. That's 20 years ago, right? That reggae ran the ground in Jamaica now, right? And around the world. Because around the world during that period, Richie Spice was the man. Ja Cure was the man, right? Nobody was trying to listen to no regular dancehall artists. They were listening to the reggae guys. The problem when reggae is winning is that dancehall is losing in their mind psychologically. So they feel when they see like Lutan Fire and Chuck Fender on flyers that they're losing ground, right? The Gaza Gully War pulled that whole drop leaf era out of the way and pushed reggae out of the way. Dancehall will not let reggae win again. They will not let them win because they know that they will go downhill if reggae gets another run, like a hardcore run, right? Because they watched it happen to themselves, where you've seen from 2004 to like 2007, there's no major rhythms on the dancehall side really from that era. There's no major anything because the reggae guys were running the ground. Egyptian, Richie Spice, Phantom Moja, Lutan Fire, Chuck Fender, right? Bushman. right, Sizzler. Like they had the ground, right? So dancehall can't. Dancehall doesn't want that. Dancehall doesn't want that.
But here's where I disagree. Well, let me not say. Well,
So
here's where I
Babs, you know, if you
disagree
say
with
two of
you
them can take
because
off
it
at
Wait, no
one
sounds.
chip.
time.
Yeah, wait, no chip.
Hold on, Richard.
Go.
My
Let me have a
man, me
conversation.
never hear.
It sounds like you're saying that the bigger heads, or as you say, the invisible hand in dancehall is deliberately trying to block certain progressive movements of the genre of reggae, right? When to me it's just the attention span or the taste, why for the taste of the consumer base, right? We live in a microwavable era, as Dr. Mix did say earlier. The attention span. Reggae at its core is a slower paced genre of music, slower BPM. Would you blame that on dancehall and say that dancehall is deliberately trying to, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but to hold down reggae from striving? And when you said, would you be able to call names, or you're just saying that from what you're seeing, dancehall is just so, what's the word I would use? The gravity around dancehall is just pulling all the attention away from reggae, which could be possible, which is how I see it. But I wouldn't say dancehall artists or dancehall the shareholders of dancehall. I don't think they're deliberately trying to hold down reggae. I just think it's the attention span or the preference of the audience.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you something that I saw physically with my own eyes. Two of the biggest radio stations in Jamaica. I'm not gonna call their name. In 2013, I was on the ground in Jamaica, and I used to do road with Down Sound Records, right? I don't think that's a secret. And two radio stations that we went to, there's a big sign on the door in 2013 stating reggae is not to be played during prime time hours, which were traffic hours between 6 a.m. to 9 a.m., and then from 5 p.m. till 8 p.m. No reggae is to be played.
All right.
Let
But
me let me str-
why
so,
would you think, why
can
do
I
you,
interject for a
one
second?
second, Lalibela. Okay, go ahead, because I wanted to follow up on it, but go ahead.
I want a strong man what she's saying. Like for example, even in dancehall, right? They relegate that reggae to early juggling. So you see those selectors and DJs within the dancehall, they pretty much expand and open upon what Babsy observed in the radio station. So
Yeah.
even to the extent that a particular reggae song had the potential to grow, the individuals within the dancehall only play reggae during the early juggling. And if people don't get exposed to the music, how then would they be familiar with it? That's a way of artificially limiting the potential of reggae.
Yeah, the
Well,
sign was on the door, like the
so
doors, like do not play reggae between, like these are prime time hours. These are the sponsors' hours. So why would a sponsor tell a radio station they don't want reggae to be played during the time that they're running their advertising?
Real talk.
all right, so both of you use two verticals that are what do you call it? You get feedback from those two verticals. Would the radio play? Wouldn't there be data to show that okay, we have more list what do you call it? A wider audience or more people tuning in during these hours, and it seems that when we play reggae, the listenership falls, and then with the stage show, not stage show, with the party them with the reggae being in the early part of the juggling. I think it's 50-50. I agree with it with the fact that the selectors, them supposed to dictate or them supposed to lead the flock, I would say, right? But at the same time, if them realize that them a play a certain a certain juggling, a reggae juggling, and everybody in the party stand up and say, "Oh, we can call a taxi for go home now." They're going to be more inclined to say, you know what? I'm gonna relegate this to the earlier section of the dance. I'm gonna play what can either give me the gun salute, the money pull up, or get the people dancing. So both of those two verticals of the genre, the industry, the radio, but also the dance, are the people them dictate and tell you, hey, we are rock with this or we not rock with that.
Not
That's
necessarily,
true.
no. Not necessarily,
That's
no.
true. That's
And
Not
I
true.
would
necessarily.
agree with you in that though, White Knight. The reason why I would agree with you, is because of the type of generation that is coming up. And I think that's where as you just referred a while ago. I think that's where the problem is. No, that's why many people might saying that dancehall is winning now because of the new generation that is coming up now. Because when I was a young youth, certain things couldn't play part. We used to hear more reggae music more than even dancehall music because certain music couldn't play on radios. And I think that is take time and change completely now because of a younger generation that is coming up. And now it is worse and now in 2026.
Right. And remember, Babsy's claim and my claims are decades old. So these references were planted a long time ago. And now we're seeing it being manifested currently. So to the extent that the youth are divorced from reggae, it's a function of design. That's the argument that we're making. It's a function of design. We've seen how this zeitgeist, the sentiment in Jamaica has shifted. And that largely has to do with the fact that, again, they've artificially divorced the youth from reggae music and that conscious vibration.
Well, Lalibela, is that is that designed by the shareholders of Dancehall, or that's just corporate Jamaica trying to make as much money as possible?
That's where the problem is, Knight. That's where the problem is.
Lalibela, the question was for you.
Yeah, so I'm of the view that there are multiple agents who are acting to limit reggae.
Agreed.
So of course, the corporate base, and then even individual, and from a preferential perspective. Even if you look at dancehall today, right? It's not necessarily the best music or the hottest dancehall that's being presented to us. Certain selectors, certain DJs prefer certain artists. Just like if you go on these YouTube in the YouTube space, there's certain artists in a bowlerized way are elevated above everyone else. Wherein, if you look at the data doesn't support the claims that they're making. So individuals are curating a certain type of music. They're platforming certain artists, and this has always taken place before. And now we have tribalism like never before. You understand? And the quid pro quo with the money pull up and a whole other type of references, proximity to artists and so forth, is informing the quagmire that we're in as it relates to the music. And again, Bob's and I have the view that the music is pretty much dead.
Well, I wouldn't use that strong word still, say it's dying. It's just the consumer, as White did I say still. That's what I think that is what happening.
You know the last time reggae had a buzz?
If it's not growing, right, what do you call something that's not growing?
You know when reggae had the last buzz?
Tell me.
1 second,
Bob just referenced the epoch.
No, I'm just asking. Do you guys know the last time reggae kind of had a buzz?
I say 2003 to 2005, and
I'm not talking. I'm just talking. It was actually wanted to come back. The last time reggae had a buzz was with Cargo. That's the last little buzz.
Yeah.
Reggae.
Okay.
No, the last little buzz reggae had was with Cargo. With that rhythm when he put it out. You remember when Cargo put out that rhythm and that controversy was all over it? You remember?
When recently you're talking or earlier?
Yeah, recently. That was the last time. That little throttle. He had a little buzz like he was wanted to come back. Cargo had it in his hand, you know.
I would say a pulse, but not necessarily a buzz.
No, so but we can't look for reggae music like that still, you know, because there's a lot of reggae music out there that
yes, there's a lot of reggae music out there, but I'm talking about when Cargo came back out with that remix, that rhythm, and bring it out. That was the last time it had a buzz. When that rhythm, that's the last buzz it was playing in the dancehall arena.
Well, hold on,
sorry, 1 second. Big up DYCR in there. Listen, DYCR, the artist. Big up yourself. Go ahead.
Yeah, big up the great poet. So let me ask you, Eustace, let me ask you something. Big one thing. When does a play one reggae song in a Europe?
That's factual. Years. Right? Dishonest panel. Years. Me not even play one reggae song.
What if by by the efforts of a certain group in Jamaica. All the
No, but
efforts that we here. What are the uses? All the efforts that we here, Nile and Babs and that. But what if by those efforts everyone was coerced into liking dancehall more and hearing dancehall more and getting used to dancehall more and backbenching reggae in our subconscious?
for me, for me, I never grew up on reggae.
Why is that?
I never grew up on reggae because I'm being honest, reggae was not really my movement as a young youth coming up. I mostly used to look up to Bounty Killer and Beanie Man with their music because it more give a vibe when you go to dance. If you go a dance, then you will hear them a play out the culture music early. But when you touch in 12 o'clock, you're going to get be a Bounty Killer, Sizzler, because you know Sizzler have some good tunes, same way in a dance hall, same way. And you're going to hear some Capleton as well. You understand? So, them man that used to bring the vibes. So, but they were still not even my artists, even up to today. But me can't use myself to say me I go judge reggae music because every time when I look on the chart, even though these people are not talking about in the space, and when you go up on the chart, the reggae are selling more than even dancehall music. I mean, just now use Bob Marley. Me talk about artists where we not talk about or we not know of in the music business still a sell more than the dancehall. Is one and two dancehall artists you can find where we can say, okay, are selling records. But yet still, in the reggae, they are still dominating, selling their music. That means to me, people still consume reggae music more than dancehall worldwide.
And I agree with you, right? But so here's my question to you and the others, right? Why is it that seemingly reggae appeals to the wider world more than dancehall? However,
I think because dancehall is a softer movement more than reggae
sorry
because
guys, I got cut off.
more than dancehall.
Make him finish him question. Go ahead,
Sorry,
Lalim, because you know
sorry.
finish.
Never finished. Okay.
Right. So, no, yeah, a phone call came in. Why
Okay.
is it that reggae seemingly appeals more to the wider world, but
You get cut
You
off
get a
again?
next phone. Yeah, you can get a next phone call. Give me a second.
Dancehall, cut him off.
sorry, no, phone call.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this phone in. I'm trying to figure out, Eustace, like to the extent that you're saying that you weren't exposed to reggae or reggae didn't appeal much to you when you were younger. Why is it that the inverse is true on the global stage and not in Jamaica?
Because if you look on the diaspora of Jamaica, they love the clashing thing is one where really they like to see that violent part in music because right now any artist that is not doing bad man song in Jamaica, it's like they are not relevant in Jamaica. You have to do bad man. That's why if you check Chronicler was the number one trending, and if you listen to Chronicler songs, it's all about gun.
So
So
which one
that's the
came
type of
first?
Jamaica. We're born in many of the youth born in a clash, and the younger youth them coming up kind of invest themselves also in it. And I think that is the problem that we have in Jamaica right now. That
Which
even
one
the
came
dancer
first though?
artist that is not doing bad man tunes, still their name not wanna call up in a Jamaica. Them are gonna say they're dead out or whatever, even if they're doing great overseas.
Oh, Eustace, let me ask you though, which one came first, the chicken or the egg?
Repeat that.
Which one came first, the chicken or the egg?
The chicken or the egg?
Yeah, which came first?
The egg come first.
White night, I love laugh.
So however you frame it,
Lalibela,
right? Go ahead, sir.
let me answer your question because I'm a pussyfoot on it. To answer your question, the messaging in reggae music, right, is way more appealing to the wider world than dancehall.
Reggae
It's
music,
because of
revolutionary music.
is that the messaging, the peace, the revolution as kind of the general. It's more appealing to the caucus, you know.
But I
Than
already
than
said
than
it's
dancehall.
a softer music, it more softer and more slower to understand. That's the reason why.
One
So
second,
for
denial.
go ahead, sir.
Yeah, just because if let me see if I can put this the right way. Because the question I asked Eustace, right? Because I agree with what Gold and I just said. It's more palatable to the wider world. But my question for you, wouldn't the acknowledgement of that, especially over the last, well, since its inception, wouldn't that go against your point earlier to say that it's not a dying, not a stagnant, but a dead genre?
All right. I'm currently so what I'm saying, right? And I use the example of Latin, a language which they deem to be dead. Now that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that one cannot discern Latin, and that doesn't mean it's not spoken. However, there isn't any growth. There isn't y- any utility in it for the most part, other than academic exercise, right? It's not being used as any lingua franca or anything like that. It's just relegated to a function of the past. There's no future as relates to Latin. Reggae, even when I heard Yusuf talking about reggae is selling, when we say that music is selling, to what do we define as sales? 100 copies, 1,000 copies? Is it not
So
the objective to go ahead, sir?
sorry, I don't no, no, finish your question. Sorry.
Yeah, I think we have this how should I put it, low expectation when it comes to the music. Not intentionally, we've been inured to expect substandard music, substandard growth, and so forth. We've gotten so conditioned to those expectations, that reality, wherein we don't have any high expectations for the music. If we look at even hip hop in the 90s, and Bob could speak to it and others could speak to it, when hip hop wanted to go mainstream, you know where they went? They started soliciting dancehall artists to collaborate with them in the 90s. It's the reverse that we see nowadays. When Biggie and Puffy wanted Biggie to get a wider audience, they engaged someone like Supercat.
Right.
And I think a lot of times, not being cognizant of our history,
Right.
True.
we have this.
Lady Patra as well.
Yeah, I mean, our genre, for whatever it's worth, provided a utility that hip hop in of itself wasn't able to provide for itself. And we're
Mm-hmm.
forgetting these kind of things. And every so often we see one individual doing well for themselves, we then conclude that it's an ecosystem that's flourishing. And if you look at the data, um, it's the opposite. And that's how I want you guys to look at it. And again, like I was saying
But
to Trey
I
earlier,
agree.
well, I said to Trey earlier, we were blacklisted in the early 90s. If you lived in New York or any of the major metropolitan areas, once you say I do a reggae, I mean a dancehall event, you you're a persona non grata when it comes to many of the key venues. So now, us being blacklisted have individuals thinking that was a function of
Yeah.
economic viability.
It also happening in the UK as well. It was happening in the UK
Right,
too.
right. And
but
Toronto too.
but not
So when you use
but
the word
Niall,
blacklist in
one
those
second,
things,
Eustace.
go ahead.
Before we get to the blacklisted part, because I'm just focusing on the term, the usage of the word dead or dying, right? Because you used Latin as an example. But the thing is, because you say what constitutes growth, and I think that would be my question for you as well. What constitutes growth in your opinion regarding the music? Because earlier I read some stats that said reggae
right,
music, which I guess Luminate classifies dancehall within that within the genre of reggae as well, grew by 7%, right? Out
right.
of 21 tracked genres in for US streaming growth, reggae and dancehall was ranked 11 out of 21. It's one of the few genres globally that actually grew or expanded its footprint, while rap music and other genres contracted. So when you say dying, what would you constitute as the lack of growth or the absence of growth in your opinion? What constitutes no growth is happening if the data states, hey, this is actually growing?
I appreciate the fact that
Sorry,
sorry,
not to correct you. Where did you say you got that data from? Who from where? What
Luminate,
night?
Luminate.
If
Okay,
one
so
second.
Luminate basically categorizes all Caribbean music as reggae and dancehall. So the growth you could potentially be seeing is due to the growth of soca music as well, because more soca is being produced right now,
But
right?
Babsy,
Because from what I can see, dancehall has dropped in the rankings yearly consistently for the last 6 years.
that's where I wanted to go, Babsy.
And
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 Babsy,
to
sorry,
add to what Night, sorry, Lally, I'm just gonna, before my chain of thought, Night, you have to remember this year you haven't seen as much. Last year there's little to no music being released. This year it has magnified tremendously. So that data, is gonna go by year, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
gonna, like, next year it might be different.
right?
But
And
there is also, so could we say that in the last year then it has grown? Because the thing is, because sometimes when we talk, we'll make a point to show that, okay, the genre has expanded outside of Jamaica, but then to end the sentence, we say the genre is dead. But
But
that me not
Luminate,
understand. Like, what's the
but
two
Lumin,
things?
Lum, but Luminate is going to bring back what type of stats? Numbers, right? It's bringing
Mm-hmm.
statistics in terms of music being streamed and released, which has increased significantly this year, as to say, from last year.
Who consume more reggae music?
But
Europe
so
or
Golden,
America?
wouldn't that constitute the
let,
definition of growth then?
Yeah,
let me
okay,
respond.
so I can tell you why that's the situation. Bob Marley, UB40, all of those albums have seen an increase in streaming. So while you might be seeing an increase for the category reggae, it's only a few select artists that are increasing, like the UB40s, the Sojas, the Bob Marleys. Like those albums are increasing streams all the time, right?
Right,
Because they're being played more in malls, they're being played more on cruises. Like, so those stats go towards the reggae category, right? But if you look holistically overall, you're not seeing the growth from the actual genre itself. You're seeing the growth of a few artists with
Yeah,
right.
more
and
streams.
before we
Let me
move on,
respond to
like growth. Somebody asked about what would you constitute, like, how would you measure growth in reggae, right? For me, you have to surpass the leaders that are leading now, which is a 40-year-old dead man, right? 90-odd-year-old Bob Marley. Until you surpass that person, I don't see you growing.
right. And let me answer this question,
But
right? And let me answer this
mhm.
question since it was posed to me. No doubt about it. Ostensibly, a 7% year over year delta in the positive regard does point to ostensibly to growth. But here's the thing about it. Uh, to Bob's point, you have to widen the scope. What did we see for the prior years and so forth, right? And we know we can't plot a graph, a straight line graph with 1 point. And so 1 year of 7% increase doesn't speak to meaningful or sustainable growth. Even if when we drill into the data, we surely had 7% in 1 year. It doesn't speak to sustainable growth. So we will have
but
aberration to the extent that I still affirm that the genre is dead. There are instances where you will see deviation from my argument. So it's not, I mean, nothing is absolute. So it's not unusual to see 1 year where you see a spike, but is it sustainable?
okay, I think so. All right, because I think we're going around in circles. What I'm trying to say is present, not even data, just present an argument to say, hey, this is an example of reggae music dying, right? So let's say, tell me that for example, Rebel Salute. If you tell me that, okay, Rebel Salute used to be great, then it stopped being held in Jamaica. I said, okay, that's an example of the genre dying. So what I'm asking for is either qualitative or quantitative data to say, hey, this genre is dead. Using
Okay,
Latin as an example, as I used earlier. I just need I need something to
okay.
say, okay, I agree.
Let me answer that. The proof is in the pudding in that those same Luminate numbers. If your top 10 is UB40, red wine, right? Bob Marley, who died 40 years ago, that's quantitative numbers to show you that songs that were done 40 years ago are still running the reggae chart. You don't have any other Billboard chart that has 40-year-old music at the top winning every single week and coming in number one, two, three, four, five. There's not one genre. Elvis Presley cannot dominate a chart, right? You might have seen a spike the other day with Michael Jackson, but that had to do with his Netflix movie. You
Right.
have seen Bob Marley be number one for 4 years straight. No one has been able to take him out. If reggae was growing and being successful, he would have got bumped off a long time ago. UB40 is number two every week. UB40 sings Red Wine. You mean to tell me that like there's no reggae artist out here right now that can take over from like so you that's the quantitative information right there. When you look at the
Okay,
actual chart, you're seeing Sean Paul dominating with Uma Noana Bade. That's from like 99, right? Like
okay, we agree.
you're not
We agree
seeing
then.
new music pushing these guys off those charts.
All right, we're in agreement then. Finally, we're in agreement. I won't use the term dead. I disagree with the usage of the term dead, but I would agree that it kind of stuck. It stuck at somebody's doorstep. And it stuck at the doorstep for the last 40 years. So we're in agreement then.
Right.
But the point of me, I said, oh, how would I find? Because even if a heart is fine at it, it's still not moving Bob. Look here, the hit with them fine with a album, it's like it's still not moving Bob
But
from that
that,
number one.
to
So
Bob's point though, these hits that you're talking about are not scaling meaningfully enough to supplant Bob. So when we regard these as hits, are they necessarily hits? What are we using to define them as hits? Being popular in your immediate space, or are we looking at data? What are we looking at to conclude that these songs are hits?
that's where the problem is because most of our tune that we always say it start from Jamaica, but when you go in the diaspora, nobody know it, and I think
Listen,
that's where we need to
that's what,
start look on these music and say, okay, this is just a hot thing in Jamaica, but where it push the individual overseas.
exactly, Eustace, and that's what frustrates me, right? A part of that song comes out today, and fans of the artist will say this is a hit before there's even 10 streams on YouTube or Spotify or anywhere else. So we've overused and you know we've oversubscribed usage of hits so much to the point that it doesn't have any meaning anymore. And that's why we're so confused when we truly look at the data and realize that these songs aren't hits in the traditional sense. And therein lies the problem.
That means that we are in the last age. Then in this last age, are we not finding any hits to, especially the album in the album area, because in the album area is Bob dominate. So to me, it's like everybody will put out an album, even if they find a hit in the album, it's still not passing Bob. So I am saying that right now, I think the only thing I think Jamaica is listening to every artist right now. I would tell every artist if they want to be where Bob Marley is and every other artist is, they have to sign to a big label overseas.
And guess what? In this space on YouTube and elsewhere, most, in an effort to elevate their favorite artists, demonize the machinery, the systems that are able to secure the hits that you're yearning for.
Agreed.
Total agreement there.
And the reason why I would agree, because I tell a person, say, if Cartel, did he have a label when he find Fever? I think that song would have sell platinum diamond right now
And,
because
and, and,
they
and
would have pushed it.
yeah, Eustace, and listen, within reason, I agree with you. And let me preface by saying that I truly appreciate how you're comporting yourself on the panel today. You and everybody else, we have a meaning. Now, this is not me, it's not a snide. I really appreciate how we're engaged on the panel, right? And the thing about it now, Eustace, now, if someone like myself were to objectively speak to Carter's approach to promoting his music, I could easily offend most people who are viewing this video. And because of that mindset of most people, it's difficult to have the meaningful discussion that we're having right now. This is very good. We're having a very good conversation.
For real, I love it.
Yeah, but in
Yeah,
many respects, it's virtually impossible to engage at this level.
yeah. I also like speaking to Mr. Now there. Um, one of the things I've noticed as let's call me an outsider is, and he touched on it earlier, the acceptance of like substandard performances and mediocre performances. I think that the fans of dancehall and reggae in Jamaica, especially, or Jamaican fans, have to demand more from their artists, right? And because right now, dancehall and reggae, like every Jamaican has to get on board with the fact that your music is now being compared to other black genres globally. Where in the 80s there was no reggaeton, there was no Afro beats, there like you weren't being compared to, there weren't other direct competitors against reggae and dancehall. It was reggae and dancehall competing against one another. And you have to look out now and see that the state of the music industry right now is one where you are going to be compared to a Burna Boy. You are going to be compared to a Bad Bunny, right? Those are your rival genres now.
Because if you look at it still, if you look at these persons that we're talking about right now, they have big labels behind them pushing their music. So if this is what I am saying, if we as a Jamaican want to see dancehall and reggae reach to the top, because the reason why Bob Marley is still at number one is because it's a label behind his music, still continually pushing his music today. So if we do, because I realize without a label, I don't think no Jamaican artist are going to reach in this generation right now, I go reach to the potential where they want to reach. Because I realize, no care how big you are right now, I realize you cannot do without a label. In
Of
a
course.
in a overseas foreign country, you cannot. Listen, not want to your music not want to go far. No care how big we may have my artist as a high part in dancehall, but at the same time, I don't like his music to go we are beyond where we can compare him to say, yo, my boss, they are number one, what 100 as I would like to see do that. But I realize be independent is good, but there's a but there. It not pushing you where you want to go.
You're right. You're right, Eustace. Right. We don't expect Usain Bolt to run without cleats, right? But somehow we are expecting figuratively our musicians to do this to perform well without cleats. That's where the problem is, But think about the narrative in this very space, right? People spend so much time castigating artists who use the systems that benefit them in that regard. They reduce them to the point where, first and foremost, they don't even regard Sean Paul and Shaggy as being dancehall. They find all kind of excuses to justify why they aren't part of dancehall. And to the extent that they've done well and they can't refute the data, most people are in a negative sense saying, "Oh, it's because of the label." And again, I'm saying, why do we expect athletes to run without the correct gear? It just doesn't make any sense. And I'm intentionally conflating the two, athletes and musicians. It's like you're justified in wanting your favorite artist to perform well, but as an independent artist, the level of effort to get it done, if you're gonna do it yourself, is it makes it that much more difficult than if you were to have a team. And that's what the labels usually represent. And most of these artists aren't even educated when it comes to the industry. So they don't even know how to approach getting their music out there. And then when you have people who are not qualified to speak within reason on social media regarding a song as being a hit before even 10 people are able to listen to it, then resting on those laurels make it so that artists don't even try to make any meaningful attempt to truly secure hits. I hope that makes sense. I'm sorry for being long-winded.
No,
and that's a good point. And I think education is where reggae and dancehall need to begin, so that they can kind of understand how the music industry works and how to get on Billboard and how all these things work. I think dancehall and reggae are still like navigating from a place of just guesswork,
ignorance.
right? So
Yes, exactly.
When I hear people say Sean Paul and his
Shaggy.
label, and Sean Paul's label is not paying anything for Sean Paul's music right now. Sean Paul's like been off of a label, like the previous labels, like Get Busy and those songs. No one's paying for those to be on playlists. They're just on playlists because they're known. Sean Paul, Bob Marley, Shaggy. The reason why they're dominating so much is because of their programmed plays, not their sales and not their regular streams. It's their program plays that put them over the top. Why current modern day artists can't catch up, because current modern day artists don't have programmed plays counting towards their billboard, the billboard chart. So Bob Marley is not streaming a lot. He has he's on the program plays. Like that's where the bulk of his numbers come from, because
Right.
he's playing in the malls. He's playing on Sirius XM. The way those plays get weighted are much heavier than somebody watching or listening on a free version of Spotify. That's not where Bob Marley and Sean Paul and Shaggy's numbers are coming from. They're
Real
coming
talk.
from program plays.
Real talk.
To
And
add
Babsy,
to add
Babsy,
to
sorry. Let me just say this real quick.
oh,
And Babs, you
mhm.
spoke to the quality of the music, right? And the other day, I'm not gonna call the artist's name, but I was playing one of his songs, and my son, who was 12, was like, he made a statement that the person is singing in the background. This was a so-called well-produced song, you know. And when my son heard it, he was like, "Yo, that person." My son was telling me he didn't like the trap beat, and then he was saying that he made some statement pertaining to the individual who was singing in the background. And for a 12-year-old to listen to the music and thought it was someone singing in the background versus someone thinking it's a polished, mastered, and mixed song speaks
Right,
volumes about the wider audience and how
right.
they perceive the product that we put in the market. And we have to examine those kind of things too.
Yeah.
To piggyback off what both Bobsy and Niall said, and also for the panel as well. Because earlier I think we spoke about the marketing, right? How the dancehall artists market their music, advertise their music. I remember back in the days, you used to have ZJ Chrome, Urban Mondays. Either Chrome or bust the song on a Monday, or you give it to ZJ Wawa. I think ZJ Wawa used to come on the graveyard shift, or you give to what you call it? Remember him again? Liquid. ZJ Liquid on a Friday, right? You normally get the music out there. One and two interviews here or there. A couple years ago, it reduced to just putting the music on Instagram. Yo, me have a song drop Friday. Yo, song drop Friday. These days, you only find out about the song when you go up on YouTube. You know, see it on them socials. Then just drop the song and say, okay, some when they do an interview a couple months later, yeah, man, some drop a couple songs earlier this year, but you never market it, you never promote it. And we spoke about ignorance earlier or just now regarding Shaggy, right? I would implore let me see, every up and coming dancehall artist and reggae artist. Shaggy have the thing him called Island Music Conference in
Hmm.
Mobile every year, right? Every serious musician, recording artist, road manager, anyone that's interested in the business of music should attend that conference, right? Because what it does, it educates you on how the industry works, from what do you call them again, A&Rs to the business of the music, the finances of the music as well, how to get the music out there, how to go from being a local star to a Caribbean star, and how to take it from there. So there are there are resources out there on how to do it, but for some reason, Jamaican artists, reggae and dancehall, them comfortable with calling themselves an artist by just releasing a song on YouTube and getting a one viral TikTok moment. And for them, that constitutes, oh, my boss, right? And then 2 to 3 years later, we say, okay, why am I youth there? Why we never come out there? Why we never go on tour? Why we never see him with no product placement? Why we never see him in no commercials? Why we never see him partner this or see him on the show there? And that's because, as I think, as Niall said earlier, we've grown accustomed to accept the bare minimum, right? As fans, but also the artists them grown accustomed to, okay, but just need a one hit song, a Mark X, and we're good after that, right? So I think a
But
lot.
we ask
Go
about
through.
we shot they promote or something there when we hear talk about who are promoting like. Cause remember
You
say
mean the
sometimes
Island Music Conference?
yeah, like which part them are promoting so other people couldn't really. Cause people probably not even know about them they sitting there going to the music thing, you know. They're
World
not
Music
gonna
To be
Building.
promotion like
honest
that.
with you,
It's
to
well
be honest with
promoted.
you, me
Honestly, it's well
live,
promoted. It's well promoted.
yeah, me live all the way where me live,
Yeah.
and but no state did that happen. And then also when we watch the ER clips on YouTube and also on social media, you see, you see it's well promoted. Because, for example, we spoke about Shaggy's reply to what's her name? No, not reply. When Shaggy said that he wanted to be on the Shake It to the Max, the Shake It to the Max remix, that interview was done at the Island Music Conference, right? So we might not know that that's the name of the conference or the workshop, but the workshop itself does get a lot of attention.
Okay, so I'm gonna answer that for you, White Knight. The how artists just put a song up and then they don't market it and the marketing isn't there. That's because of the history of how reggae and dancehall actually work, more so dancehall. So if you look back in the earlier times, like early 80s, um, artists never had to do marketing because selectors did the marketing for them in sound playing on sound system culture was the more dominant culture for dancehall. So Stone Love have your dub, you're gonna get Look In At, etc., etc., etc. So it was the sound systems that were really pushing artists in the beginning. Artists never really did much work. Then we went to a phase where it was like dancers and like that whole Pasa Pasa, Dirty Fridays, Wetty Wednesdays era where those DVDs did the marketing for artists. So back then, now you would hear a song on one of those DVDs and then you would go and track down the song and find the artist, right? Um, and as time has gone on, the people who run the dance, which would have been back in the day the Dons that were in the dance, Roy Fowle and these kind of guys, right? Willie Haggart. Now it's scammers who have the money in the dance, right? So you don't have sound system culture pushing artists anymore. You don't have the DVDs and the Dirty Fridays and the Wetty Wednesdays pushing the music anymore. So artists don't know what to do because they never push their music to begin with. They just cut dubs for sounds and then they just had dancers bust a song for them.
Right. And these problems are further exacerbated by the different clans within dancehall, creating these epistemic bubbles, these echo chambers where everything the artist does, he's praised, he's never objectively critiqued. A lot of these artists are oblivious to the lay of the land because everyone around them are yes men and yes women. And that's a part of the problem. They have the same problem that Dar Nicholas II had. No idea what was going on in the world. Think about someone from, say, Cartel Gaza or Vendettas camp. Seldom would anyone critique these artists.
Right.
They give every single song, every single statement from the artist are high praises. And again, these artists now become so accustomed to that, they think they're achieving, they're resting on laurels that they don't have. And then when someone like myself, who's an outsider within reason, objectively speak, I am admonished.
Right.
And that's a big part of the problem is we're not allowed to opine
Right.
in a meaningful regard because we're always exposed to the risk of individuals attacking us
Yeah,
in
because
the most
even
vile ways.
if you look at some fest over the weekend, I guess when you have like Cartel Movado clash, right? Like they clashed with tracks. They didn't clash with a band. Like that is an absolute like no
Right.
for every other
Hold on.
like outside of dancehall, right? Like there's no way people would have stood up there and watched two artists quote unquote do a verses, let's say, with tracks.
But that's where, and I think that's where we're missing everything, because if you look at this generation right now, it's totally different from the generation from the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s. It's total different generation that we're looking at right now.
And we're not disputing that, no, Eustace, but here's what we're saying.
So
Largely,
it's hard to use a older ways to judge this new generation. That's what I'm just looking at.
so Eustace, we're not disagreeing with that. The generations are different. But we have to examine that to the extent that it's different. Does that necessitate the change to be positive? Does that mean what's going on is positive? Most of these youths are not familiar with music. And when you have tracks versus a band, what you really have, is a technician and a disc jockey supporting the artists versus musicians, right?
But
When you
me
speak of
agree,
music,
me agree with what you're saying, but when you look on it, on the brighter side, the more you go out, the more you travel, is the more you learn, right? And these artists, the more they travel, and the more they look and say, but wait, we not have to use bands, we not have to play with no bands. You understand? But me agree with the older persons who grow in that era. Them are going to want to see a band. And I'm not going to say me here going to say I'm going to bash them, but we have to also look on the newer generation as well that is consuming the music as well. How did they look at it? Are they quarreling about band not playing? Are they worrying about that? No. The new generation is not worrying about that. Even the older generation too, because you have a lot of persons in them 40, 45 went to the show as well. And if you listen to enough of them, see me, them are going to tell them enjoy the show. And the band was not there.
Eustace, no
I
one
have
is
a question.
sorry, one moment. No one is mandating that I should consume vegetables, But is it necessarily a good idea not to consume vegetables?
Repeat that again. I didn't hear it.
No one is mandating. No one is
Hey, boy, night,
mandating.
you can laugh, so.
No one is mandating that I should consume vegetables, But is it necessarily good that I would elect not to consume vegetables?
No, I have a question, right? It's just unfortunate that my question might seem like I'm supporting the claims or anything said by Eustace. So this is completely independent, right? And I need Golden Eye to chime in here, so. So my let me beat me for this.
You agree with your Eustace?
No, man.
No, hey, don't you dare say that. Don't you dare say that. Don't you dare say that.
Go ahead, Night.
My question is, right? So I was watching the Gulliver vs. Gaza show, right? Live. You go wherever they are straight on, wherever they must straight on. Did I watch it? I mean, I said, okay, remarkable. I loved it. I personally loved it. Went into the comments, the people them love it. Listen to the interviews, the respective patrons in attendance, they loved it. But then when we come to YouTube or go to Instagram on certain platforms, we'll hear, yeah, but they never have the buns. I mean, I said, okay, cool. But what's wrong with that? Now, here's the thing. You can't believe me I said this. Here's the thing, right? I understand that dancehall stage shows should be, right? In most cases, should be with a band. I don't want to see a reggae sunfest. If next year them come back with distracting, I'm gonna say, okay, this is a spit in the face of what we've not only grown accustomed to, but what we should demand and expect in terms of quality. But what is so wrong with this specific or this more recently concluded staging of Reggae Sunfest that they did it without the bands? What's so dire and destitute that they did it without the bands? What's so wrong?
Look at Queen Africa.
Feel like me feel like with the band, me feel like say right now we get a good show, and as I said, it's one of the good show, best Sunfest now minute where people them see the crowd and everybody are react. But me feel like with the band, you probably don't get amazing, a greater one. Because the band don't get some more temper. You just get a different vibes. You see me? Because them do good enough. But they don't probably get a better energy. Even from the artists themselves.
Look at Queen Africa, right? She was subjected to use tracks as opposed to a band. I mean, to the extent that kids love candy doesn't mean that we should give them candy. Because we understand the implication of that.
the metaphors, like the metaphors, them not too correct, but we like them.
Let's test them since they're not correct.
No, because you say you're equating candy or the overconsumption of candy to being you're saying that using tracks on a stage performance is tantamount to the overconsumption of candy, right? Even though I know that that's not what you're saying at face value. So I won't take it at face value, right? So that's why I say it might be the wrong metaphor, but I understand what you're trying to say. But here's the thing where I definitely agree.
Hold on. I'm going to let you finish that story, but here's the thing, right? Remember, we're talking about music, you know. Can we speak to a particular reference being music when it's devoid of actual music? Because we have to understand what music is now. Music is that lyrics, you know. So when you remove actual music from what we call music, is it still music?
But isn't a stage show a combination of music or music and lyrics, or the performance of a song? And the song comprises of music, but also lyrics. But here's the thing: the method or the medium used to play the music this time wasn't the bands; it was actually the tracks. Where I do agree with you and with everyone is that I personally had no problem with Mavard and Cartel using the tracks. When you bring up Queen Africa, that's where I say, okay, the rest of the show could definitely, Rough Cut should have been there for everything else. I agree with that part. But specifically with Cartel and Mavard, I don't have a problem with that performance being without the band. But the rest of Sunfest, in my opinion, definitely should have a band.
Can there be music without music?
Yeah, the band play a major role in a definitely.
Me agree in some way, but you know, say if you have a band, to have a band, right? The individual person the band have to know the individual music.
Right.
And
that's why training uses.
Wait now. And that band.
No, let him finish because he's going in the right direction.
Go ahead, Chip.
No, Eustace. No, please. No. Can we just allow him to continue because he's going in the right direction?
Eustace, continue.
Okay. So as an artist that have want to have a band, him have to have a personal band with him. As how me look on a band situation and how would I look at it? Because you have to know the type of music when to change and where you're going to change and where you're going to sing to.
That's why you're rehearsing.
But the point, that's what I'm saying, enough persons, because that take a lot of work. Be honest.
It's your job to work. It's your job to go and rehearse.
I agree, with what I understand what you're saying, but when you look on it, it take a lot of work. And if you look for majority of the artists overseas, the more you travel, you realize that these artists are not using bands.
And they
somebody said something about condition of mind. When the young artists them look at Movada not using bands and using tracks, and that they might go look on that and say, yo, we have to use bands, and that like a condition of mind. They might look and say, yo, we have to do that. We can use tracks same way. We have to use bands.
More something to uses. You see the bands thing, brother. Remember, as even right now till this day, we still have the same issue with the artists them can't perform on stage properly. Because by right, when they go to the studio, go do the music, pan the track, you're supposed to train for stage show performance with the bands. You're supposed to do that. Every artist is supposed to do that. And that will bring us to the
talk about this trip sooner or later, Trip. nobody, most of the artists them are gonna stop it, not even want to hear anything about bands. Believe me.
For
But
Eustace,
And
that's a
I'm not
bad
saying
thing.
bands
That's
are
a
gonna dead out, but I can say is
for
that
Eustace.
that's going to happen on stage show majority
For
of the
Eustace,
time.
we as fans of the genre should strive for that not to happen. Don't get me saying that I like Cartel and
exactly.
Movado using the tracks to say that I would like to see
Yes, I
tracks
like, but
everywhere.
remember saying,
The,
you see, the people who remember, we can hear on the panel talking, but the person who paying them money to consume it, they are the one that I think they are the one. If the only way that can happen, unless they are the one that says, listen, if no ban nah did it, me not pay my money if you go there. And if that is not happening, then this is continually going to be a debate. Say we should have used ban and we should have used that because people still are paying no care much money just to go see you and you them want to see. And if even bands not there, they come like nothing. Because right now you can see say Jamaican right now. I take them time because I was looking in the comments and I thought that people that more bash Cartel and Movado for not using the bands, and you understand, and most, and if you check one and two people might be here, me can hear people having that conversation and one and two people in text. But the
But you
majority don't have a problem. So when you look on the majority don't have a problem, how would you look at that?
but Eustace, right? Do you think
Yeah,
any
you
of
just
the
about you
individual
just know what you know why we can't see
hold
different
on the chip, hold
success.
on the
It's
chip,
when
hold
every
on the chip. Now,
artist
chip,
stop
hold
use
on the
ban
chip,
and I
hold
use
on the
track.
chip,
Then I
chip,
go to
hold
the
on, chip,
yeah. Oh,
chip,
go ahead.
hold
My
on,
bad, my bad,
Chip,
my bad.
Chip. Hold
now I'll do
on,
that
tell
talk.
Chip,
Now I'll do that talk.
tell Chip to forward and back because him not hear certain people. I think
Yeah,
that's the
no,
problem.
go ahead.
yeah, Eustace, do you think any of those patrons would have objected to the usage of a ban?
If they had
Repeat
a
that.
choice, like
Right. If yeah,
mm.
would anyone at that venue have do you within reason, do you think anyone would have objected to the usage of a ban, and do you think they would have deemed the usage of a ban as being inferior to the tracks?
The only I think with that them they have to have a them they have to have a debate about it to see if we could have proven if we say okay, we don't want no bans or we agree with the tracks or we want ban.
So we understand
But
that
you,
music is difference between music and noise is meaningful expression, right? And we're here discussing whether dancehall and reggae are dead, right?
Mm.
And you're clearly speaking to the level of effort required for them to use a ban. The wider world have a higher standard when it comes to music than we do in Jamaica, right? Don't you think that the inferior product that we're creating on the stage and otherwise participate or inform why our music isn't expanding as we would desire for it to?
You think it's because of the ban?
What I'm saying is that there's a quality concern when it comes to our music.
No, but I'm asking because remember saying no, the topic is about the ban now. So I'm
Okay.
asking it is the your point of view is saying because of Jamaica not producing the ban anywhere they go, that's the reason? Or you're just saying
I
something
think,
different?
Hold on,
now if I
I
can
wanna ask
answer,
a quick question. Crazy. What country are you from? Cause I hear an accent. I just want to ask you a specific question so that we can kind of. What country you from?
Montserrat.
Montserrat.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so. So when you seen
Nice.
Arrow and Hero and them performing, do they perform on tracks or do they perform with a band?
Ban.
Okay. So I'm asking I asked him that so that you guys can see like we are accustomed to bands for shows, especially a show of that magnitude. We're not used to seeing artists perform on tracks. So
but
because it's now world music, right? The standard is bands. That's the
but
standard.
Bobsy, the question,
And Hot is one of the probably one of the biggest songs right now worldwide still.
I was telling Michael that yesterday, right? And how
Hey,
Byron didn't make Tiny Whiny, but that's another story. But I'm saying
so
like the standard now is bands, right?
Mm-hmm.
no, but Babsy, you say
but
we are not
Bobsy,
used to see
one,
artists
one
on
second, the Jerome.
performing.
Bobsy,
Yeah.
and my question once again, it's not attached to anything Eustace had said. This is separate from him. I need to make that clear. The thing
Okay.
is, no, I have to make that clear for real, man. If what I'm saying is, I agree with you. In my opinion, dancehall music and reggae music, as it comes to live performances and stage shows, should predominantly be done with a live band, right? My question for you and the wider public listening, is it that we are upset about the Vibes Cartel and Movado performance, not having a band, or we're saying that the entire staging of Reggae Sunfest, we have a problem with that? Are we in the, once again, the echo chamber of the YouTube street, the nitpicking that comes with that, or are we just being adults and saying, hey, Joe, don't do this again next year. If you're gonna have somebody perform with tracks, no problem, but the rest of the show should have the bands. Or are we just doing the nitpicking with Movard and Cartel? Are we saying, hey, Joe, Reggae Sunfish should always be with a band? And what is wrong if there's a one-time deviation from the norm of having a band?
Well, I think this is where the backlash forward from. Go ahead, Lal.
No, it speaks to what I can't remember the individual who made reference to the fait accompli. Once you establish that artists can perform without a band, the impression that it makes on the youth is that there isn't a need for a band, and clearly the level of effort to perform with a track is not as steep as it is with a band, because there's a certain quality standard required to get the level of a band. And
Right.
there's Babsy mentioned yesterday that I think Babsy was talking about Tony Rebel show, multiple day event, a festival, a festival, right? And clearly Joe is speaking to the hurricane impacting this year's effort. So it's a one. So what we saw the other day, was a dancehall event, though it's under the
Yeah.
misnomer Reggae Some Fest, right? And I saw tourists in the audience observing Queen Africa performing, and I'm sure that to the extent that they were going to Reggae Some Fest, that once they saw what I deem to be, from a musical perspective, a substandard effort, that I don't necessarily think they would be intrigued to want to go back to Sumfest next year again if they imagine that it will be substandard again. And to the extent that there's a cost component to a band and there's a craft component to using a band, it is plausible that if Joe is incentivized by how much money he made this year, that he may never revert to the higher standard. And then
No,
that in
that's
of itself, that in of itself will stunt reggae and dancehall. And I love what Babsy said yesterday, and I wish at some point that we can talk about Calypso Soca as far as drivers when it comes to revenue, which one actually is bringing in more. And if we look at it from that perspective, we might come to the realization that we need to resuscitate the craft in Jamaica. And I have a question for Babsy, but I'll wait until afterwards. Sorry for the long.
all right. So I just
Nice.
want to reply to what Niall said. Once again, the chip. Niall,
Yeah.
so I understand that there's a possibility where, because everything you just said in the plausibility of, okay, Joe will see that this was cost effective and will divert from the usage of bonds, right? There is a possibility of that. But what I'm saying is, we cannot, because when I circle the YouTube streets, I realize, okay, this isn't a genuine reaction to it, right? We're acting as if this performance will be seen as the catalyst for the downfall of the usage of bonds for the foreseeable future. And I'm saying, why are we looking at it that way? Why can't it just be a thing where, okay, them two artists here, them use the live tracks, right? Because Cartel say, okay, I prefer to use the live tracks, more comfortable with that. Cool. But let's wait and see. Like let's save the criticism for next year. If we see next year that, okay, this entire thing has gone to now using live tracks, you can say, right, so things mess up. But I feel there's an overreaction. Only speaking of the Cartel and the Movado part. Queen African, in my opinion, should have been able to use a band. All the other artists should have been able to use a band, right? I think Rough Cut and Reggae Stunfest, they go hand in hand, to be honest, right? But why are we looking at this specific performance and saying, okay, this is D-Day, this is Hiroshima, this is the big bang that will now sink dancehall. Is that an overreaction, or is it that the places I'm hearing these reactions from, I shouldn't expect anything better?
I agree with you that within reason, that component of it may be an overreaction if we're only using this year's event as a representation. But is that necessarily the case that we don't have prior data that's pointing to the where we're going or where we are now?
But if
With
we look at
regards
it
to
though,
Reggae Sunfest,
but
I'm
what
sorry?
is
or
so
just the
bad?
genre in general?
So what is so bad if they plan to use next year?
No, we
What?
can't
Track,
water
just
down the.
track.
We can't water. We can't water
These are
down
the
the
views of
music.
Eustace. These are the
Yeah.
views of Eustace, not White Knight. Just
I
letting
think
you
I
know.
think
No,
I,
no,
But
no,
let
no,
me
but
no, no,
one
listen,
second,
listen to
one
me.
second,
I'm
one
just
second. Let
no.
me let
But
me
you
let me
see,
address the outrage. Let me address
the
the
point
outrage
is,
one
I'm
second.
saying why we make
I
we
think
seems like when something
Eustace.
new come across, we always like to say it is something bad. I'm not saying is some change is making. Just like the couple years ago, it was the scamming tune was running the place. Something new than
All right.
the new job where
Eustace,
we used to
hold
listen
on.
to
Yeah, hear
dance
me?
song.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hear me, Eustace?
we are here White Knight. We are
So
here Golden Knight.
Eustace, this is not new. This is not new in music. This is new to our culture.
Our
And
culture we are talking about. Our culture we are talking about. We're not talking about saying new
so
to the world. We're
you
talking about our culture.
exactly. And so why we going to follow something that's going to water down our culture and the music? So now
That's what I am
the
saying. So it
outrage now is justified outrage to make sure say you don't these people don't set a precedence and I'd say yo people are gonna pay them money to go into a concert or a festival to hear tracks. We're not on that. So the
All
outrage
right.
is
But
justified in my
Golden Eye,
why,
opinion.
but what I am
Night.
saying though, why what I'm saying, Golden Eye, you cannot use you to justify everybody because majority of the younger persons now are coming up now. If you notice, they do not have a problem because even when we go to dance, it's not band playing when we go to dance. It's track playing and we are bubble to it.
But it's a difference between
So
that and
but
a stage
that's what
show.
I am saying now. So watch this. It happened in dance where track play. Now we say a new thing where I can't tell me to bring in it too, because we can't say nothing why it's different. Mr. Cartel I bring in a new thing where because I'm second Sunfest this and a track missing use.
But you says even
Hold
with that,
on.
right? You remember when Cartel did first Freedom Street it was track, right?
Cartel me say come with it. That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
no, it was track. But remember, I know when him a rehearse for that stage show, him first show, him a rehearse with a band. When him a MC Nuffy in the background, that clip go viral. The band a tear down the whole place, and
But
then
the
he
point
come with it. But
but
me
that's
gonna
what
give
I
an
am
example.
saying.
Say,
It's a lot of work.
Say that's how
It's
important the band is. That's my
it's a
show the
lot
world. So
of
yo,
work. Yes, me agree, but may I tell you say as I explain again, carrying a band, it's a lot of work. Cartel have a lot of music. Him not like he have two hot song when he come to Jamaica. When he come to Jamaica, he have a lot of song. And when he come to
Eustace.
Jamaica, enough Jamaica want hear him bad
That's
man
why I'm
song them.
supposed to him supposed to rehearse and have a set list. Him
That's
have
why
2,000 songs, but the set list is 40 songs, and that's why him need for rehearse. There's
I
no
don't have a
Eustace,
that
problem
was the
necessity.
with
artist
with,
work.
with the track
hold
still.
on.
I don't have
Eustace,
Can
are
a
you
I
problem
can
aware?
I say
with
something quick too?
music
One second, Babsy.
recording.
One second.
Okay.
Eustace, are you aware that these band members can play any song made on this earth? Because they're musicians. They can play
No,
any song.
no. Sometimes they
Within reason
can.
they
Okay.
can. Within reason
Some
they
Them
can.
same Jerome, them
oh
same
no
musician
man,
now.
That's
Them
why
same musician
that's
no
now.
why
man.
they're rehearse.
Hold on,
Sometimes they
Jerome.
can.
Jerome.
As
But
long
hold
as you
on,
know the
Jerome,
theory of music and you're
them
playing
musician,
instrument, you can play it.
hold on, them same Jumia go around the world with popcorn and just hours of just show with popcorn. All I'm song
All
them
right,
go on stage, and interact
listen.
with them and some good stage show, brother. So we
All right,
can't see
listen
them
to
can
me.
perform a song them, man.
Golden Eye.
Not all
Yeah.
of
Hold on,
these
Jerome. Last
songs.
point. Last point.
No.
Golden
Yeah, and then
Brethren,
what's
every
another
time you
Jerome when
got
you
Hey,
finish up
hey,
after
one time. Jerome, go ahead. Cause you
Hold
did
on.
a
yeah,
half
when you
song
finish
now.
up with your
yeah,
Bobsy, I say, why your Bobsy
Yeah.
after that?
Go ahead, Jerome.
all right, listen to me. Sometimes even the person will make the song spend days and hours trying to put these vocal cords together to get a special sound. The man will make it, Sometimes I'll take them all 3 months. And you're telling me that these bands can get it authentic just like the rhythm and the backtrack. No, they can't. Sometimes our bands are play a rhythm and about maybe like 45 seconds in, then you start pick up a which rhythm. Some rhythm them can easily catch. Showtime and them things and not every rhythm.
Meji,
I'm
any musician who can play
yo,
music,
Bridget,
right? Or
just
play
cool. You know,
instruments,
sir,
right?
from Michael, you
From
have,
them know the
yo,
key, from them know the key, the BPM, right? Them
Bridget,
good.
I'm just saying that from Michael go live, me calling numerous of time and can't get a break. Just make me get a thought now, Bridget.
But your point is null and void. It's stupid. We don't know what you're talking about. They're
Yo,
musicians.
even
They're
if
not
it's
just
fucking
people like me and you.
stupid, even if
All
it's
right, so let me
stupid, you
start
wait
the
till me
reason.
present
All
the
So
right. Let's
argument,
follow the
Bridget.
reason. All
Bridget,
right. Go
what's
ahead,
wrong with
Gerald.
your
No,
man?
yeah.
If
Go
you
ahead,
know what
Gerald.
year, you know what to do, Bridget. Me tired of
Just
this,
because
Bridget.
the artist cannot
yeah, let I
perform
make
on
him the
bands, it
speaking
doesn't have to
man, then
make
he
them
revoke
talk,
after
no?
no man, please. Make him
All
Yeah.
right,
speaking
Make
man
make
and then
Gerald
you
Lalabelle.
talk.
answer after.
All
Make him
right,
talk and make we hear him, I say.
Lalabelle. When you went just forward, you went the yeah. So the artists them and the fans them go hand in hand, and the fans them they prop up the artists. But you say you're very neutral. But when you just start present an argument, you say Sean Paul and Shaggy, them they bring dancehall far places. And whenever you guys reason about Sean Paul and Shaggy, you never yet give the labor no credit. You make it look like a them alone run the 400 meter and a them alone get goal. You guys just never wanna give the labor any credit. But when it come on to say my artist, me here say I put prison hype, I big him up on them things there. So that's why sometimes the fans them have to defend the artist. But just like any other artist, if they were signed to VP or even Sony Music, Sony them wouldn't have the artist music are carrying places. Even Cargo me here said that. So if Carter get the chance where Bob Marley get or Sean Paul and Shaggy Weir, the labor they push the music. You know music could then go far a
Reggie.
place.
So since he's addressing me, let me respond to him, please, if possible.
No.
Go ahead.
Jaron, I
Go ahead.
appreciate you engaging me relative to your concern, right? But
Yeah.
I think you probably didn't hear when I mentioned that labels are essential. Labels are fundamental. They're foundational if we want to get to a certain height when it comes to music. So by my making those claims, I am in essence giving kudos to the labels. I deem them to be necessary. I've never discredited labels. Actually, I admonish individuals who castigate labels. I think labels are essential.
All right, I was in on some in a bad coverage in and out, so
No, that's
Also,
fine.
so
maybe
I
All
wanted to
right.
say
Big up,
something.
Gerald. Go
I
ahead,
want to
Bobby.
say something quick. So, in regards to the band part, right? What I think some people might be missing is this is Sumfest is Jamaica's only event that all eyes are on dancehall artists in any given year, right? There's no other event right now in Jamaica that's gonna gain tens of thousands of people from around the world watching the streaming. So that's where the standard is coming from. It's not just like a regular stage show that Cartel versus Movado and Queen Ifrica, yada yada yada. It's your international top tier product for reggae and dancehall, where
Exactly.
the artists were not performing with a band. So that's where the criticism is stemming from, because there's nothing else after this, right?
But
Rebel
Bob's,
Salute does not
go ahead.
draw this. Rebel Salute doesn't draw this amount of attention to them. Sting is gone, right? So, what other event is the world looking in to Jamaica to see dancehall and reggae artists? There's no other event.
Did I
Exactly,
get kicked
Babsy.
off again?
But GoldenEye and
Yeah.
Bobsy
Hello?
wasn't Saturday's show a deviation from the norm, right? So shouldn't we wait until the norm becomes the using the trucks for us to then say, hey, let's not mess this up. Why are we overreacting to Saturday's performance and then saying, hey, this is the diminishing of reggae, the show gone bad, we need for Joe need facility. Why are we overreacting to this particular staging, right? We haven't had 3 consecutive reggae sunfests where everyone is using trucks. Why is the reaction so I wouldn't say aggressive, but why are we overreacting to this performance
Because it's one of
or
the
this
biggest
evening, I should
show.
say?
Because it's one of the biggest show
Yeah. And
since
you have
lately.
to they probably
Why? So they have to use this as the stepping stone to say, okay, they should have used a band because this was widely looking and as there. Because when we go for when I time, me see like the mafia take down. When me dey on YouTube, I watch me see one with 15,000. When me go for one next one, 10,000. You understand? And then you go on TikTok, you see 4 or 5,000 per other person, 2,000, 1,000, 600. So people were really. So that's the reason why I think they were going. But as I said, still, even if next year come, because me hear White Knight, I say if next year come and they still using chucks, yeah, it's like him. I said, boy, my thing say it is a no. But I said, what if it's something new is happening in Jamaica and Jamaica is accepted? What we going to do about it? Keep talking about
That's why we're nipping it in the bud right now. And it's important for people to speak out. You can't just walk it on the couch.
But me and you on a panel can't speak out on that though. We only can give you input though.
But how is dancehall unique? Why is dancehall unique?
One voice turn into a choir. That's how the world works.
Yeah, but even your voice can't really shape that part because
once you hear people say it's unacceptable, right? Then other people who are in the music of reggae and dancehall who recognize the importance of bands and musicians in general are gonna make a standpoint.
Remember,
I'm not the only one who's saying this on YouTube.
No, I'm not saying you're the only one, but I am saying the few that is saying.
Remember, I love the performance and I enjoyed the show. But do I
want
to go to Reggae Sumfest and think like a Rolling Loud I'm going? You ever been to Rolling Loud? These events are trash because these artists are trash when it comes to their performance.
Question for you, GoldenEye.
Yeah.
When you there watch the performance, was the usage of the what you call it, the background tracks, was that your primary critique, or where would you rank that critique while watching the show?
I was in the moment. I wasn't critiquing the show at all. But for me, who has been to many concerts, right, many events, right, and know how artists perform, if I was to get up and pay my money and know, say, is a laptop, I got up on a stage, I play tracks, I am not going, bro.
Then
so
don't
understand that.
So what you're saying that you wouldn't pay for
useless. What? Hold on, I don't want anything so we agree on the same thing if we avoid that at all.
Hey,
but night.
Never agree on anything. You say what you say, me say what me say. Nothing wrong with that, my boss. Stop using me as a stepping stone.
But White Knight. But White Knight, let me ask you.
So what you're saying, you would have never pay your money. Figure one sound play. Cause remember say a track sound play, you wouldn't pay your money figure listen. Because it's the same. What's the difference?
If I'm going to an event where a sound I go play a juggle for the whole night and an artist appear, well, me pay my money for because if a sound system play the music and an artist might appear, that's different.
But White Knight, you hear me?
You agree? Oh yeah, Chip. Yeah, go through Chip. A long time you want to ask. Go through.
Yeah, one more ask Zin. Can look into it, brother. It's a Vice Scotland Mavado thing. That was a moment thing. So when it tracks on the band. People, you can't, we get a pass because it's a moment. It's a moment that day. But just imagine if Reggae Sunfest we keep right now and book 20 Jamaican artists to perform with just pan tracks from the Sizzler, the Capitan, all these people come out
so
just pan tracks.
A future hypothetical, yeah.
It's not going, them for that, brother. It's not going to be. It's sure not going to be the same, brother. You not have that energy. No energy not going to do that.
You cannot use that to justify anything because you watch one without.
No, but I just want to reiterate though.
Quickly. Did you think a lot of people was tricked by both artists by practicing with the bands? Do you think a lot of people was tricked?
Them did do that.
Both artists practice with the bands, so you think a lot of people was tricked?
What are you talking about?
Like the rehearsal, when I'm rehearsal,
they were both artists rehearsal with bands.
Rehearsing with any bands?
Nobody see Vibes Cartel was out here practicing.
Vibes Cartel was not rehearsing with any band. And I wouldn't see like, so that's the whole issue about the reasoning Cartel wasn't performed. From Cartel come from prison. Cartel do not use no band and his performance. Everywhere he go, it's a track he use. Even the first Sunfest when him a crown, it's track him use. And the second one is track him use. Everyone I'm tour them when him do 2025 is track him use. So I am saying his Cartel is the one from Freedom Street to all over a track. So I think Cartel is the one bringing something new to dancehall. I'm not talking overall over the world.
He's not
To
bringing nothing
dancehall.
new. He's not bringing
You see
nothing
what
new. He's just
Golden Eye,
watering down.
you see why I'm for
Water down the
distance myself?
space for adjust to it. He's
Oh, all right,
inadequate.
yeah,
What is
Distance myself.
per se?
all right, hold on the Golden Eye. Let me address something, Golden Eye. Oh, man, a water down dancehall. When dancehall, we know you used to travel with some heavy box. And we used to see Bounty Killer and Ninja Man and every man in a studio, the DJ to the tracks. No fucking band was in any studio. You go a big yard, you go a
We're
jamming
talking about
studio.
yeah,
Yo,
Bridget.
Bridget, let me talk, no man. Just
We're
hear
talking
no
about
man.
concert. We're talking about
No,
stage shows. We're talking about studio, my
yeah.
come with your fuckery, Bridget.
Even
I go
stage
on a
show.
reasoning.
Even Shensia, if you go a Shensia, show them. Or Spice, show them for the past 2 or 3 years. You see a bands, you see all the while, no more see tracks, all of them been using. Me no know, all right, listen to me. You guys, I doubt Vibes Cartel are
Jeron.
Him a
Poetic
compare,
justice,
him
man.
a compare, him a
Poetic
compare
justice.
Spice, him a
Golden
compare
Eye.
Spice.
Popcorn a big
Wait, wait,
artist.
wait,
Popcorn use
wait, wait,
bands in a most
wait,
science
wait,
stage
wait.
show them. Popcorn travel with the bands.
Jerome, a compare a Shensia and Spice show to a reggae song fest? Really?
When these artists are
Golden
there on
Eye.
hip hop shows, Hip hop shows, I'm compare them
Golden
to,
Eye.
you know.
But Golden Eye,
Golden Eye,
Mrs.
you see
Popcorn,
why
Mr. Popcorn fly out the bands, brother. Mr. Popcorn fly out the bands when anytime Popcorn have a big show, like real big show, when him show them, a bands them man they use, brother.
All right, Babsy didn't want to say
Golden Eye.
something. Wait.
No.
Babsy didn't want to say something.
I
I
was
can't believe
saying
say so one thing. I can't believe say Knight was agreeing with you, sis. But go ahead, Babsy.
no. I was saying that
Hey, Michael, Michael,
No, Maria Babsy, Maria Babsy.
no. I
Maria
was
Babsy
saying
first man,
that
let's say Yusuf. Hold on.
Go ahead, Babsy.
I was saying that's why we're going back to the same point over again. The world standard for top tier events is with a band. And if you have the world looking in on you, watching, you're going to get criticisms that there was no band. That's where music is globally right now.
But
Artists are
Babsy, nobody
performing with
question
bands.
Drake. Like how them a question Vibes Cartel. If that's
Drake
what
is not reggae. Drake is
Drake
not
doesn't use a
reggae,
Babsy
band,
Jerome.
said the
bro.
world. Babsy said that's where
But
music is
Drake,
right now. Yo, Bridget, come on, cut it out, no man. Babsy just said that's where music is. Drake don't think music. She said that's where
so hold on,
music is right now. So I'm just
here's the
addressing what
problem,
she.
Jerome. Jerome,
No,
here's the
no,
problem.
Bridget, just
When you hear
you know,
Bugsy, when you hear
you know,
Bugsy
to
said
go
the
at it,
word,
Bridget.
we're
She
not going
said
at it.
that's where music is right now.
Yes.
And
What
I
did you
said,
infer
but
from that? What did you infer
I
from that? She
said,
meant Lady
yo,
Lady
she's on
Gaga
the
will be
plan.
using a
She's on
band
the
too.
panel with us, you know. She can talk for
Yeah,
herself.
but I'm addressing your inability to comprehend what she's actually saying. You're
Brethren,
taking it
she
at
said
face
that's where
value.
music is right now. You're telling me rap is not, is a rap or R&B is not music? Cut your
And then
fuck out,
question Jake,
brethren.
same way we are talking about.
Yo, all I'm saying is that you guys have to understand that Cartel has a huge catalog and it will be difficult for him to perform so much songs with a band. Show
Jerome,
me
me
one
not perform
artist.
all them
Hold on
song
there.
them,
Let me address
Jerome.
that.
Me not
Bridget,
Let me
perform all
address
of them
that.
at
Let me
one
address that.
show.
yo,
Hold on
guys,
there.
come on. The fans them
Let me address
demand.
that. Let me
The
address
fans
the.
them demand so much hit songs at his concert. It's not easy for
Jerome.
the
Jerome, Cartel not
Jerome, let me
yo.
perform
address.
all them
Hold,
song
hold
them
on,
at
hold
in
on,
a one
Chip. Hold
show.
on, Chip. Let me address.
Well, on Chip.
Let me address
Ah,
Jerome theory of the amount of songs or Vice Cartel discography. Let me tell you something. The band make a transition smoother. This is why people use bands. When you're on stage, when you have your dash, you know what bands can do? Transition into a next rhythm. That is, if you go to festivals, Jerome, I go to stage shows regular, where bands there. This is why an artist performing with the bands is so smooth.
The bands can't make it
Cause
smoother than the DJ with the Bridging, the DJ around this set, this DJ around
Well,
his
no.
laptop, and you're telling me that the bands make the transition more smoother than the DJ himself?
Well, no. You know,
Jerome,
that's why
you know,
the
Jerome,
what is
Jerome.
satisfying about this?
Jerome.
You know what
I
is
wanna say something. I just
too
want to say
much.
something quick to you, Jerome.
Go ahead.
I understand that you believe Cartel has a whole bunch of songs, etc., right? I want you to go to a Mashal show, right? And I want you to see how much songs Mashal is singing with a band, and he's dancing with the backup dancers. The last show I went to of Mashal's, he performed for 3.5 hours straight, dancing with the backup dancers, singing music, backing up the other artists that came on the show. If Cartel is the king of dancehall, that's the level of output he should be putting out, in all honesty, because that's where music is.
Thank you.
Marshall can perform for 3.5 hours straight.
No,
Let me
but what
say,
I'm saying, we
You know
cannot
what's the saddest part?
in the saddest part of that reasoning though, because sometimes when we look on the outside of dancehall, it's not a lot of person that is using band. And we have to be factual.
No, they
But
Cannot
we're
are.
talking
use
about
no, no, we
reggae
cannot
and
Luciano,
use
dancehall.
like, have you been?
we cannot use even one persons to justify, because most of person that use band out of dancehall right now, what would I say in the world is rap music. Rock
So
and roll.
how are we going to water down our genre, right? By complying to the other genres or ways of doing their music, right?
It's
While
not
killing
about
our
water.
genre.
It's not, you see, what we're missing, I'm not saying
But
water down the genre, because
but by
the
moving to
genre
tracks,
is what I'm trying to
by
say,
moving to
Golden.
tracks, we're removing something that makes us different and unique to the
Yeah,
that
world,
we just
bro.
we're
talk
removing
about.
a
That's what I mean. So
pillar,
what make
pillar.
dancehall unique is bands, bro. That's why dancehall is
But
unique.
you says
You see
No,
what?
but remember,
in a
say the
Europe.
time is changing. Watch this now. Remember,
What
every
time? No, bro.
time is changing.
In
We
a
have to
Europe
pay
and
attention
England.
to the change
In a
as well.
no, bro. In a Europe and England, have bands around the place,
Yeah,
bro.
But
they
why
have
Reggae
never
band
use
every
festival, all
show.
every
the big
artist? No.
festival, them
Question
have
is
bands.
every artist using band out of in the world?
Eustace,
Any reggae
Jay-Z,
festival, any big
Jay-Z.
show is
No, let's
bands.
talk about
Hold
reggae
Yes,
on,
festival.
All the big show them
Jay-Z.
useless.
Hold on,
Come
Jay-Z,
on,
the
man.
biggest, one of the biggest rap artists.
African
Eustace, hold on,
couple
listen now,
artists out
listen
there
now,
out
listen now,
out of
listen now.
Jamaica is
Yo,
performing without
Eustace,
bands
say, I
as well.
listen.
So how we are justifying?
Jay-Z, one of the biggest hip hop artists, one of the biggest moguls, right? Had a recent concert in Philadelphia, Roots Picnic. Was all bands. A hip
But
hop
every time
artist.
he use, so we are, that's why I ask the question.
These artists
It's every time
integrate
these
these most
artists
of these
use
artists,
bands.
most of these
When they
artists
show them
integrate
users, when they
bands
show them
with the
use like that,
tracks.
they use bands. When they show them
That's type
huge.
of foolishness, my boy, when they show them use band.
Eustace. Bands is a foundational part of
Now, I say bands
reggae.
is not a part of Jamaica. I'm not saying that, but I am
So
saying why when it come on to, if we can accept a track when we go to dancehall and listen to the same artist where I sing on a track when we go a dance, and the move where I do so much things. What is the
because
difference
this
with
is
a
a
stage
stage
show?
show.
Because I dare, so
This
we
is a
go it
stage
back.
show.
Yo,
This
Eustace.
always happening, you know. This
Eustace,
always happening.
Eustace, outside of hip hop and dancehall, most other genres use bands. Would you agree with that statement?
In you're talking now or back in the days?
Contemporary.
No,
Even
right
no.
now.
No, right now.
No. Right now, me can tell you say you have less people using bands now.
Can you
What?
No,
can you
Like
that's
can
who
not
you
true.
useless? Like
Eustace,
who?
Oh,
Like
what
who
is
Eustace,
the
useless?
proof you have that
Eustace,
a lot of artists is using band outside? We are
so
talking about now.
Eustace,
Does Burna Boy use tracks or a band?
Eustace. The entire rock and roll
What
genre,
I
the
know,
genre of
like,
Oh, me
but
tell you,
just
country.
say
tell
the
you
only
useless.
person me see use band contour, me tell you say is the rock and roll them continually.
No, but
That's what I said. But out of the rock and roll, many people out there are using tracks more than using bands, and that's
no
facts.
country
No,
music,
On
because
country
Eustace,
music.
Adele,
Listen,
on
Adele,
Eustace,
on
brother.
what
you
big
don't see
show?
Adele out here they sing with no bands. I'm say Drake, you rarely find Drake a do bands. These
Brother, them
people
that
just
What
hip
want
are
hop,
you
Adele,
saying
brother.
too
Hip hop
fast
Adele,
that,
though?
bro. A hip hop
But
that
Yo,
allow
it don't
though.
make none.
allow
Yo,
respect
you
our
guys just, listen to me. All I'm
Let me
saying
correct
is
Jaja
that
God,
Jerome. Let me
brother.
correct Jerome. Adele, when you
you,
go Adele concert, them she incorporates, right? Live instruments with tracks, bro. They
all
have
I'm
live
saying,
instrument players on her shows. When you
are,
talk about a singer, you ever see a
okay,
singer
so
at the point with tracks?
I must show you something. I got the chance last year to watch Vibes Cartel performing
Mm-hmm.
and Beanie Man performing at the same night, but different venues. And when me switch over, me realize the bands them a enjoy themselves at Beanie Man show more than the audience. They were sitting down, some stand up and watch the bands them a go
You did
on
there
with
the show?
themselves.
You did there the show?
But
You did there the
Bridget,
show?
can I just talk? Yo,
Yeah, watch
Bridget, let
something
me
on
talk, no,
TV and
Bridget.
talk about the people
Wow.
Bridget,
experience.
me
Easy.
talk.
Hey,
You see
make
when
we bring it down a little. Go
yeah,
ahead,
man,
Jerome.
me talk, Virgin. You see, when me click over Vibes Cartel show, me hear the whole audience sing, and them tell you so them pay them money for sing the song
Which
them, and
show
they
this?
enjoy. Virgin,
Yusuf.
I'm talking when Beanie Man was performing in New York and Cartel was overseas performing the same night. Me watch both show and me realize the fans them from Vibes Cartel show enjoy themselves way more singing the artist song and screaming on their voice. And you see when me watch Beanie Man show, it wasn't I know all of the audience when I reel up. Some of them did the rock,
Wow.
and some of them are watch the bands them and enjoy themselves. This means the bands them get paid for enjoy themselves more than the audience.
Yusuf.
So
I mean,
Jeroen, so
Jerome. Come on, Jerome.
1 second then, Jeroen, for every performance that you can find like that of Beanie Man, the what you just described, the band enjoying themselves more than the audience, I can not even probably, I can literally find 50 Beanie Man performances that go against that, right? That supports the usage of bands. So why did you use that isolated performance to try to
Because
prove
me
the
get the
point that
chance to
bands?
compare because I
And
had both of them hands in hands and I could have compared them that night. And I
Jerome.
realized
Jerome.
that these bands thing,
I
when you just want to see cartel feel somewhere, somehow.
No,
Because
Jerome. I say
No,
you
no,
no.
hear
carry
me
back
out
the
now.
wrong thing, brother.
All right,
Wow.
Come on,
Bridget, I
Jerome,
just,
man.
yo, come on, man, listen to me. I said that I have watched
Wow.
closely numerous of time and I realized that, you see, when the bands them a play even some a Beanie Man song, it takes a while for the audience to catch on to realize what
Jerome.
rhythm is that. Bridget, hold
Who are
on,
the
no, man,
best?
mate. Yo, I'm talking, yo, just let me deliver my speech. I have seen many times when the tracks are playing at Vibes Cartel concert and other artists, as them start play within 1/10 of the seconds, the fans them start singing song before the artist because they pick up very quickly which rhythm is this and they know which song is coming. With the bands, it's not easily to transcend where every song they're playing, the audience pick up right away with song. I've seen it.
Jerome.
Jerome,
Which hold on,
Jerome,
which male
wait.
artist?
Jerome, why
Hold
you
on,
did?
Jerome.
Let me
Which
ask a
male
question.
artist? Wait, no, which male artists are the best performer in a dancehall? Which male artist ever get that there as the best performer when it comes to performing in the industry? Which male artist ever get that
Now
there?
I straight the argument to performing
No,
still.
Yo,
we're
No,
not
no,
yo, yo,
straight.
yo,
Come
yo,
back, keep up. Wait, no, hold
wait,
on, no. We're not straight. Answer
guys,
the question, no.
Yo,
we are stray the argument. No one
I'm
was
not straight.
talking
You
about
know why? You know
cartel.
why?
wait
You
me
know
chip,
why?
wait me
Listen,
chip,
man.
Wait. Let me
Hold
talk.
on, no,
wait
hold on, no. Wait, no.
Jerome came up
Me
on a
not.
different cartel. We are
No, wait, no,
talking
brother. We're
about
not straight
reggae
off it,
wait me
man.
sunfest.
chip, calm down.
We
Where
are
you see crazy?
talking about reggae sunfest.
we
Jerome come up
agree.
on a different cartel. No one talking about cartel.
And
It's
Yeah,
listen,
that me
reggae
I say,
sunfest
listen.
we're
brother.
talking about.
in the conversation
Babs,
because
Babsy,
Wait,
Babsy
I
had
drew up
Babsy
this.
had some
it's
statements
about
about 20 minutes ago. Babsy,
the
let Babsy talk, please.
No, but hold
Babsy,
on, no,
Babsy,
no.
let him talk.
balance or
Hold on,
strap.
I
All
just
right,
one thing.
Which
all right.
one is
Wait,
better?
no.
Wait.
Hold on,
Chip,
Michael. Let me just say one thing and then that's it, no, brother.
line the plane,
All
chip,
me I
and
saying,
then
you know,
Babsy.
you see question when me ask him, brother, because me know it's a Beanie Man, brother, always get best performance. And you know why? Are the bands, brother. A bands, the man ever the
Chip,
perform with, brother.
sometimes we're not for
No,
reply. We're
I'm
not for
a top
reply to
being man a
nonsense,
top
you know.
dance and a dance. I'm a top
All
You
right,
don't
dance.
need to.
all right, good. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
yeah,
Babsy.
yeah.
No, so I wanted to ask Jerome. So is Cartel basically a better
No,
performer
Babsy,
than
please.
Beanie
Babsy,
Man?
Babsy, don't
Please,
bring
we
him
don't
back
need
in,
the
No,
please.
argument
I
because
just wanna hear what he's gonna say. Like, is Cartel a better performer than Beanie?
Babsy, you
Answer
talking to
question,
me?
brother.
Yeah. Jerome, are you sure talking? You
No
Babsy
man,
speaking first.
no man. Being all right. So listen to me. Beanie Man over the years is always one of the top performer.
I don't want to go down the performance
So
ways.
right now, this is what I'm telling you. Right now, Cartel has passed Beanie Man in a performance. Right now, because you guys don't understand that. Yo, Bridget, just let me explain.
Wait,
Now.
make
With
me
me,
talk,
I
make
can
me talk, make me
explain.
talk, make me talk, make me talk.
Be,
Michael,
be,
me come to talk about this dancehall or reggae music here.
Bridget,
And
Bridget.
No,
the
want to hear
Jerome,
explanation. Want to
Yo,
hear
come on,
explanation.
man. Yo, what wrong with you now,
Jerome.
Bridget? Bridget,
I
watch,
know what
hear
wrong
me
with
out.
me. What wrong with you? What wrong with
Yo,
you?
Bridget, let me
Jerome,
talk.
What wrong with
before
Yo,
the
the
you,
people
host,
Jerome?
come about
What wrong with
cartel,
you?
though,
the host
I
asked me
want to
to
hear my
explain.
explanation. I want to hear my
No, we don't
explanation.
want you. We don't want
All
you
right,
an
hear ya.
explanation. We don't want you an
All right,
explanation,
I
fam.
Bridget,
want to
yo,
hear
why the
man.
fuck? Yo, what wrong with him, man? Yo,
Jerome.
I've seen
Jerome.
the artist.
Listen.
I've seen the artist perform. Bridget, let me explain.
We don't want to
The
hear.
host, the
No, we
host
don't
asked
want the
me to
explanation,
explain.
G. Respectfully,
One mic,
respectfully,
one
we don't
mic,
want the
one mic.
explanation.
Yo, the
Respectfully,
host asked me to explain. I
One
may
mic.
explain.
we don't
Yo,
need an
hold on, the
explanation,
host
Jerome.
asked me to explain. What am I holding on to? No, Bridget, if you make me explain, just be quiet and
Jerome,
make me explain.
the collective, I tell you, say we don't want to hear. The collective, the group, I tell you, say we don't want to hear.
Bridget,
There
if
must
you
be
know
say.
why here,
The group,
what
I say
wrong
we
with
don't
you, no,
want to hear.
Bridget? Yo, the
Jerome,
host,
Jerome,
respectfully,
nobody know I hear the for real. Jerome,
If
I'm a
respectfully,
fight
we
you,
don't want to
Jerome.
hear.
So Michael,
We
next
don't
year,
want to
Michael,
hear.
make it explain yourself, man, on the laugh off, man. Make it explain
No,
yourself. I'm going to tell
Chip,
yourself, now, idiot, you know.
Chip,
Make
if
him
Chip.
talk.
next
We
year
don't
we come
know.
and we see
Hear what go on.
Sunfest
Yo, to the
announce
people them
reggae
on the
and
panel,
dancehall music,
to the
right?
people them on the panel, manners and respect. We respect the reason. Nile, Babsy, Golden Eye, everybody, Eustace, Jerome, Crazy, Chip, everybody. Look more. Load this.
yeah,
Me
the
like,
amount of thing me
Salute,
learn, but
salute,
me
salute,
learn
salute.
a lot of things. Big up yourself. Learn a lot today.
night have to go do film business.
I'm about to say, right, I want to get back to yeah, we don't want to go down that road if we real. First, I agree with Rambo. Go down that. Yes, and I agree with that because the subject is not about artists comparing. It's about dancehall and reggae music dying. And that's where I want to believe me. I want something to leave yet, you know, but because of the confusion
No,
in left
no, I'm not confused. I'm have to do something now.
because I was really want to ask him say, if next year come and Sunfest decides to say, okay, me I go use track between reggae and dancehall. What would we say then if we see that next year?
What do you mean by that? Track between reggae and dancehall? You mean reggae artists using the band and can you please better qualify your statement? Or clarify your statement rather?
When I hear you.
No, can you better clarify? Can you clarify your statement?
Hey, go ahead now.
Are you saying that if next year they use track across the board?
Yes.
No, that double man.
No,
Yeah, man, me know night and so circle.
I would be of the view that that would be rather unfortunate. And since we're talking about the stunting of the two genres, right? I,
Mm-hmm.
I would suggest that we cannot have our cake and eat it. We shouldn't expect to export a subpar product, and that's what we seemingly are moving toward. You know what I mean? You seemingly are in support of the substandard effort, and in my view, and I don't necessarily think it's a subjective view. I don't necessarily think playing track is music. Track is music. It's just some simulation of music, but it's not music itself. It's a
Yeah,
derivative of
right.
music.
No, sir, I would
Double
not
mint.
agree. It's music. Don't say that. What are you
Yeah,
taking away from
yeah,
Chad?
get
You can get that from Chad.
Hold on, I'm not cut. May I jump off and make somebody forward from.
Oh, double mint.
Yeah,
Yo,
may I go back in.
gentlemen, good evening.
Big up. See
Yeah,
you link there, double.
more say something to the man, then we are talking about track and bands and anything there. Me I go use each pound, you know, so me I make sure tell you from now. Because I know me older than all I know with the panel attack.
Oh, you know that?
Me know that, man. Me know that. Me want to tell me now. Which year dancehall artists start use bands? Which year that start? So now talk about bands and this and that. Which year dancehall artists start use bands? In the 80s, the 90s, or 2000? Which one of the year them?
Bands has always been. Bands has always been
No
in
bands are
the
always
music.
been. No bands are always been.
Always been.
No.
Yeah, come talk like Jamaican musicians.
Originally,
Like
all
Jamaican music.
dancehall, all old school dancehall artists.
Which part in a reggae are dancehall music? Zine, we did have sound system set up, right?
You want me to tell you? Back in the days when every sound, let me tell you something. Back in the days when.
When you
Go ahead.
stage shows, the G, you never have no recorder up there playing no sound.
All right, Golden, well, let me tell you something, Mr. Golden. Let me tell you this when you know, growing up. Back in the days, anywhere, the sound them a go back in the days, every sound man have them artists, upon the sound them DJ. Everywhere them go back in there.
What about the concert?
Hold on, brother. Let me talk, brother. Let me finish, brother.
No, you can't play the two. You can't play two things. We're talking about dance and
but
festivals.
bands then run things them the time, the brother. No bands then run things different from one stage show. No bands then run none things, brother. No bands
always bands, me G.
No always no bands, brother. It's not no always no bands. That's what we can bet pan.
Dance with concerts and festivals.
All of them old school artists, the brother. Them ongo when one big one stage show go on and then go get training for go up and when one certain stage show, brother. No bands never die at no Jamaica like that.
All right. So when Bob Marley go perform in the 70s, right? How Bob Marley used to perform? Chucks?
Bob Marley backup choir then. Bob Marley
you touch a good point there. Back in the days, them artists, them reggae artists, they we do music. Them reggae artists, them all instrument, everything where them do, building them beat back in the days, them reggae music there is bands them use and drum and them something them use. That wasn't the point about going out and use bands to play. The artists, dancehall artists, they not use no bands. Dancehall artists always a DJ pan track.
Me ask you,
them used to turn over the record.
Artists back in the days, right? Jamaica never so technologically advanced, before we start getting build rhythm in the G. So all artists used to record. The people used to record the music raw in front of you.
We
have vocalists, and people play drums and guitars. And that's how it used to go.
But hold on, to context, because people
that was it.
So all you have to say, but
bands then I go out and go play because I went something.
One second.
Dancehall artists.
No, if the essence of the music falls on the band, how can you tell me, say, no, I saw you people to perform?
No, bands then I go everywhere I sing up and I play. I never say it used to go. Because that was quite a few bands there in Jamaica.
Have two different conversations in a one.
Sure. 1 second, the double. Bob, Mr. Porter, you there?
Yeah, that me I came and talk about reggae music. Where the man them build them beat off a dancer, never use no band.
Yo, allow double min for talk now.
Why did he
leave? Look here. What I just want to say, right? And I'm going to ask anybody who know any history about music and the DJs with the band backing, right? Yeah. Have you ever heard of Mr. Derek Barnett?
We know Derek Barnett, he play for me and he might play for me this year again too.
All right. What does he play? What does he play? What instrument? What instrument he plays?
Bands in play, come using Keith live band show.
Father Gore, your camera on. Father Gore, your camera on.
Whatever you can play anything. Play
the bass,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
If you as an older man, if you know the history of him and his band backing artists, from when Capleton a ballad, right? You tell me which selector can back any artist and wicked like Derek Barnett. I finished that. You explain that.
Who selector?
And the who back in the tracks. You explain which selector, which track.
You know what I can remember? Remember back in the days, it's only 2 bands. You have Derek Barnett and another band, and you have something that so him selector we could have matched Derek Barnett from bass. Mixing.
Which selector can make the back the DJ and make them wicked like how Derek Barnett did it?
Warwick can do it. Delano can do it.
Come on, man. Come on, don't be like that.
The fact of the matter. Do you ever go one of the Royal Clash them yet? Up a Papi net right on you we grow yet? Where all of the Southern Soul and all of the big selector them from around the Royal Cup yet? Do you ever go one of them thing there yet?
Hold on, I don't need to go to that. But the fact of the matter is that the fact of the matter is, right, away from dancehall. And again, please do not mix up rap, people. Rap is always the main part of rap, hip hop. The main part of it, away from the actual artist, is the selector. From back in the day, Run DMC could not be Run DMC without this selector. What's his our boy one name Jazzy Jeff, him could not be without his selector. All right, Salt and Pepper could not be, and it goes back to Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, right? Rap, hip hop, you have to have the tracks. It's not bands, so don't mix up, right? It is ignorant if you try to mix up the rap music with dancehall, right? Dancehall.
What mix up rap music?
No, they were doing it earlier before you came on, right? Especially Joe.
Yeah, but that's what I make one point there.
Bands cover the mistake of the artist them. Cover the sound and cover the mistake of the artist them.
And
that's what bands do.
It's going to be better.
No, it's not going to be better. It's not going to be better. That's you. That's the way you choose.
Michael, you hear me?
Yeah, me hear
you. Nobody now hear me.
Me hear you. We are here, man.
Brother forward there, and I say, why here dancers start the bands and whatever. The fact of the matter is that we evolve and move on to stage show with live band, and that did bring a different flavor to the music. When you go to a stage show, you if you go watch live performance, you're expecting a band. No, earlier when the man talk, if we should move back to the track thing, we're gonna lose that flavor. Honestly, and for those people outside the genre will always come to the Sound Fest, or even from the Sound Splash and even the Rebel Show and something there. If we just track, we're gonna lose the flavor. We're gonna stop. We're gonna slowly but surely we're gonna stop attracting those kind of people.
Yeah.
Which we don't want. Because we need the genre to grow.
Well, we're not saying bands to stop you. Because we're not saying bands to stop you. We're not saying that. But I'm going to use them choose them more comfortable with.
Well,
a big show like Sumfest, you need the bands.
Live band.
You know, they don't need no live band. When we go with the artist, them more. If a live band that be a blood clot nice, pound, 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 pound. People can't get to enjoy themselves the right and properly. Cover the music.
No, but for one thing, you know, the band is also going to give you a different flavor. Because when you go to the concert, you don't want to, in other words, you go to the show, you want to get a little difference than what you hear every day in your car.
Right. That's the thing about the band.
right?
Okay, so
So
me can say what me I say now that everybody don't talk over me and everything and get on the
Go ahead,
buns.
Right.
Big
Doubles.
up on
Go ahead,
yourself.
Big up
So
yourself,
what me did I try
Doubles.
to figure out is what is the conversation about? When me just reach, me hear somebody I say, it a come dancehall a come from sound system, and then somebody I say no, that is a lie. It a come from bands. Then me figure out say, okay, wanna talk about reggae, wanna talk about dancehall. So like, what is the and then somebody else now forward and say, if it did better or the if now we reach if it evolved. But what is the actual conversation, if you don't mind?
I think the conversation is kind of move
I
a
think
little
it's
bit.
all around in
And
between that.
what I can say about it still is that when I understand what we are talking about from when is that them wouldn't like to see everything that
Sunfest.
is keeping in Jamaica. They want to see a ban. And
No, the big shows,
yeah,
our
yeah,
main
but I'm
event, our
saying
main
no
shows.
matter if we even big shows are not even once is a show keeping in Jamaica where it are they in people to pay to go listen to. They want to see bands
Bless up.
and just bands, not
Bless up.
tracks. But my take to it is that when you come on to dancehall, I don't think they should have my topic would be look when you look at
No,
dancehall.
when I change the topic, cause whatever you tell me it is, that me I go talk to right after. So not change it.
Okay. When I look at dancehall and reggae, we see them as two different things. But
She asks what we're talking about, brother. You're gonna big details.
like
Just give her the top we're talking about. We are talking about our main event. Sunfest is our last main event right now in
friend,
Jamaica.
we were here talking about a lot of things, friend. Please don't
Oh,
bother interrupt me,
all right, all
please.
right.
No,
What
Me think
it's
my
a different
understand.
Sunfest
thing.
come from, a
me,
Sunfest here come from.
Before the
a
war, let me
Sunfest that come
just
from. I
say,
never taxi.
me
Where you mean
understand.
Sunfest it a come from? We're talking a lot of things.
Hold on, no
Me
use
say all
this.
time.
Hold on, can I come like you know want argue for no reason? Just hold on. So if we are going to talk about some fest, so it is my assumption then that there are some people that is saying bands is what is preferable, as long as we're doing a dancehall or reggae show in Jamaica, or for for Jamaicans, and then other people are saying no, the DJ thing work and them all right with that. Essentially, is that what this part of the conversation is?
Well, we kinda yes, in a some way. Because some I disagree and some I would agree say I don't have a problem with playing tracks and people disagree with me say bands need to be played. So it's
The,
about that
double mint. You see,
so far.
double mint is just like, say for example, right? As I say, without the chat, without the bands, with the
By the
tracks.
way, big up Babsy.
Yeah, but when I look into double mint, suppose like Sunfest, if we just have a straight track show with no more bands. Or you think the show has beat or something like that? Them a talk about.
Still
All
great
right,
show.
so couple things, This was not Sumfest. This was a taste of Sumfest. That's two different production altogether. Some would have want to understand that. So that's a one. And if you notice, it didn't say a taste of reggae Sumfest. It says a taste of Sumfest. But anyways, if I would be okay with tracks, yeah, preferably. I'm not a fan of when the band them take 30 minutes for change round. But see somebody tell me say a poor management make that happen and a fucker them attack. Cause when each banner a change round, different things can go on, backstage is chaotic. I've been to enough of the shows to know, in my opinion, they work to me against like keeping timing efficient. You understand? So to me, the DJ thing much easier once one artist is coming after another artist, DJ come on and so forth and so on. Like I just Make think the it show works. smoother. Another thing is correct. Another thing is we have now been selling tickets for people to be able to stream online. All of those things are working components that you have to consider when you're keeping a show. So we want state of the art, we want things to look a certain way, but then we keep saying we want bands. What I do want to say, and the last thing I'm gonna say is I think there needs to be a show that caters to bands, which it will be reggae mostly, right? But for dance hall, like I see Dexter Daps go reggae land and tried to do his songs in reggae. And I can tell you this, I listened to a room full of UK people complain about it the day after because it didn't give the same vibe. So that's it for me.
Okay.
I miss this show where Dexter work same way in America on live band when we put the place same way.
Latonia speak, big up yourself, big up yourself, big up yourself. Why would I pay to hear a man play audio? Questions, and yeah? There is
Don't go.
Spotify and YouTube. Yeah, full stop. I have to perform well to get my wages. Full stop. An artist needs to perform on my money.
No, but that
So
don't
when
even make any sense.
it no make no
There's
sense.
people going to watch
It
Jay-Z
can't say no make
and
any
all
sense
of
if
those
people are
people and
talk
they're playing.
for their own preference. Anyway, big up on yourself.
Nothing one out
Bob
talk say
say
can't take away the
Yeah, man,
victory of
Father
the
Gore.
my
before.
my,
Yeah,
my
It's not
apology.
about
Father
My
Gore
apology.
to a
big up
cartel
Father
and me
Gore.
to all on it
Yeah,
talk
I
about the
gotta
Michael,
tracks.
Yeah.
Michael.
I gotta run too, so I gotta cut
All right,
out. So
big up
thank
yourself.
you
Big up
guys
yourself,
for not
Bobby. Big up
cursing me
yourself.
out today. I appreciate it.
What
No one
Not
what
told
on
me
what
my,
about
did
my
them do I
mom.
cuss you?
not on my
Where them never
platform.
did for cuss? Where them did for cuss you
Them
about
always
and
want
them
to cuss me the doubles, but don't worry. And doubles, listen, I gone, but hang on, player man.
serious.
I got later.
Nothing with them can nothing with them all say you take away the victory of that show there.
Oh
History.
no, Devin, we not try to take away victory from the
We
show,
not
Devin. We
try
not do
everything,
that.
man. But no,
Keep
man. We don't like
anything
that,
for
man. Cause
No,
we
but
Cartel
that
don't
was
get the,
Devin,
we
but that
have
was
to
the TV
find
topic.
something to
Who
come
say
to come
anything about
criticize.
that?
Say.
Who say
Devin, but
anything
that
about
was
that?
nobody even said nothing bad about the show, Devin. Nobody didn't talk about the show like that, bro.
So
Not
when
in a
my man
negative
doesn't
way.
have band up on the show, now if you have something to say about the show, you
No,
can't just
but
say the show is a
Devin,
good
No, it wasn't.
successful
but
show.
It
Devin, you
wasn't. It
can't
wasn't
rank
just the show. It
people.
was just overall. It was just overall when it comes to the band. It wasn't just a show.
No, but Devin, you have to, that's how criticism work. You know, some people have a preference too. Cause
Yeah, but
like
say
I said
cartel I do that.
earlier,
From cartel, come out cartel I work like that. So if you don't want to go, you don't want to listen. Don't listen it and don't go. Simple as that. Leave it
true.
alone. It's not for you. Simple as that. Cause you know so if come out and say my work and that him work with. So what's the difference now? Where the fuck?
There is Sunfest
no, but
normally
so
like
why? So
But me, I tell you, say,
sorry, A, go on through.
yeah, so me say Sunfest normally like keep one week show. So like a reggae part, and if you say reggae part can use the bands, dancehall use track. Cause they
All
have
right.
two separate night.
Simple.
But isn't that what happens all the time right now? Isn't
No,
that always
normally
bands?
member say on dancehall night they use the bands. But
Yeah,
me
so
I
that's what I'm
say
saying.
why
But but,
reggae night
but
use
doubles,
bands,
doubles,
dancehall use tracks.
doubles. Me
Because
hear a
remember
man
Oh,
just
most of
hold on
these
there,
youth
Devin. So, A, you're trying to say moving forward, reggae night for use bands and dancehall night use tracks? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, that me I say because as what me say, moving forward, remember say the new generation what we have, they no use bands. So when you check it couple years going a tracks were here, cause they not use bands. The new
all right.
generation artists
No,
them.
but it is gonna have to be that. If we're looking for the level of production that we keep asking for, it is what it is. If not, then someone is gonna have to curate a show that does that. But I think Reggae Sumfest as it stands does cater with bands, you know what I mean? All of them something there. It's just that this particular staging was a curated show, so them know the amount of performer them with them want set, you know what I mean, and then them know how long the actual show time I go for. So all of those things were incorporated into deciding why them got bands versus. But then Devin said the biggest thing, Cartel don't make no know say there's a theme thing there. So no could have ball blood. It's just that what them are gonna do now is the DJ them have to know master them craft. So we are wonder whether them a ban our DJ. And that
All
have to
right.
go on.
That I forgot right. Because you know say doubles, you know say all of the, that's what me I say me not understand enough for them people. Them a criticize cartel then. Or him just a use track. Doubles over the years, all of the artists them a come up here. Unless them have some big show there in a Queens where they and somehow in the park and them where they you see a band come. All
I
of them a
say
trap them the
DJ.
fan.
Yep.
Yeah, I track them depend. So why would I criticize? No. That me not understand. I track them always depend for over the years. All of the years when cartel they are prison, I track them and use. Track them depend. So why no? Why no?
What I can say though, I think it is the magnitude of the show. I think it's one of those things where them see the show and them just automatically say to themselves that a bands would be better. And maybe better listening pleasure for them, but maybe not for the artists who are
Right.
perform or the people them who are run the show. Is like me say Klaus have a problem with it, and me said to him and then post say, then Bill Klaus first. Oh no, say everything that's all straight bands. Clash are going and them sitting there. But you can, and one thing, the reason why me even said me never want Golden I left, but me did want say to him, say from my people, from me listen to my mother talk. You see when I reggae, I'm an uncle too. Big up my uncle. When we see when I reggae, always bands. You see from where I talk about dancehall, me I hear about sound.
All right.
So like Jammies have for them artists, them different from Stone. All of them have them own
Metro Media,
artists.
Team Artist,
All of them have them
Kilimanjaro,
own artists, them where them go
where them
around.
go on.
And you see, when you listen to the artists, them too, like them tell you, the older one, them tell you who them was associated with at first. That's why enough of them all artists there, the music enough for them own. Cause them don't get P and record for like Jammies and them people they already and you know what I mean? I don't know for them song now. So I don't understand that. I didn't want it to seem like him wrong because him right, in terms of reggae, but for dancehall, like it's all the sound system culture of it has always been a thing, which is even where hip hop come from. So the fact say him a say for dancehall, it was always bands from the beginning of music. No, I'm not go agree with that part there, right there, so respectfully.
You know what I say used to go. I know me got down back in the days as young youth. When the man and DJ then flip over the record. That me know. And the rhythm up on the next side of the record, the track, and like the man and DJ upon. And me mix. Then can't tell me about dancing, because I got dance when a true bombs the man them I use. True bombs said them a fear walk me up over and sitting over it, and man all a fan that blood clear to that newspaper. Because they want to keep that cool. All
Drop the
two little
link.
piece of box. And when that a roll, come like that, like them the baseline they roll like a ton and nothing sweet so. True bombs a play. Oh, DJ upon that blood cleat, some bumper cleat mixing. And not normal.
Golden Eye. See a friend I know doubles, Golden Eye.
Oh, go on. No,
Good
go on,
evening.
doubles.
Hi.
No, yeah, me,
You run left
no,
me earlier to blood club. I wonder how I go on.
no, me did have to leave. Plus, Jerome they pissed me off, so we can't. Anyway, doubles, we can't. We're tie up two things together. And that made I said to Devin, surely, Devin,
Yeah.
sound system culture, right, and concert, you see me, dance or shows are two different things, G. Nobody now tell you say me and double start about dance and history all the time. We dey on entourage and we talk about something. Me know how sound go. Me know artists used to depend sound, a pop box with sound. Me forward from them days too. What I'm saying to you is when them keep shows where artists are gonna perform, are always bands. The music
No,
where
it
the
yeah.
music or reggae forward from where dancer come from, which is reggae. Used to be played live when them a record before they get tape record in a studio.
No, but you
So
see we are
it
talk about
always a come from instruments.
no,
So it
brother.
is the root.
Remember
No,
no dance
no.
all a different thing,
And
Dancehall
brother.
was
that's
different,
why I
brother.
say that's why I say we mix up the two. We are talking about stage show. We are talking about something show. Dance where artists go perform, go talk on the mic. We are talking about shows, stage show where multiple artists are going to depend, right? I perform them sets, not flinging the mic from one to the other.
And for enough of those shows too, you used to have artists where are reading them the work pan, brother. It's not just now. It's reading them work pan same way. In those time, enough
Major
artists because
concerts.
most of the
Hold
artists
on, you
them with
ever
the
see
pan band.
Sunsplash? Hold on.
Well,
Let me say I mix up two things. You ever see Sunsplash with a sound on the stage?
No, but you don't need a
Okay.
sound on the
So
stage to play rhythm.
festivals and concerts we are talking about,
No,
Maji.
man,
We're
me
not
see
talking about
big,
one little
me
dance
see
that keep
big
on little
show, me see
G.
big show there in a Wild Park over Queen just so, and artists depend it, and another bands a play, a rhythm a play said way upon the sound, a man a mix him said way. It is nothing no wrong with it.
Doing
But
McCullough
what
say
I'm saying, we have to
shooting
remember,
using
saying,
band is
we have to remember,
expensive.
say, with reggae music, like all of them old artists that will make reggae music, that for them instrumenting was different and how them build for them thing, how them grew up and with them Rastaman thing or whatever. It's not to be about Rastaman, but it's just the culture of him in a reggae music. Dancehall are different something. That's why when dancehall are go on, man used to flip over blood cleat when the music play, then they flip over the music and then man DJ. I
Hey,
saw them thing that I saw man come up and I saw yes man come up
me not think,
and I saw man
listen
get
up,
the bossa. And every
listen,
sound man have them
listen,
artists will travel with them with DJ
listen,
on the sound.
Devin, I mean, you see the thing was, yeah, try things I'm wrong. I'm in a wrong. I'm in a
No, I'm
try
not
things that
saying
you're wrong.
wrong,
No,
you
no,
know.
no, listen up. I'm saying that none of us, nobody is wrong. Isn't me? We just can't speak on our perspective and how we see things, right? In general. You get what I say? The bands and the sound system has always been intertwined. Remember, said in Thief, the sound system from the culture in England and everywhere, you know, they stole it, you know, so it's an important
Yes, yes.
aspect of reggae and dancehall music. So I mean, I say we're wrong. I'm just saying in certain quarters you have to have dancehall artists that depend on the mic with the sound, and in a certain quarters you have to have the bands that play.
What's a golden
Because
night?
remember, say, if you go down in our heritage, you know, if you go a dead yard, every dead yard right now have bands did it. So we are telling me, say, now you root that, me G.
Yeah, but watch you know, and most of the reggae artists them could have worked on the bands them good because most of the
Your
dancehall artists them
singers.
are training them that to get training but them couldn't manage the bands like that.
No man, the older artists them could
No,
have always
me
upon
nah
bands.
like every time you say no man, golden eye is like me want carry you to my uncle's school of knowledge. Cause all the way and this are like
You
from
sure?
60s and them something them here talk about come down, you
Yep.
know. You
Yep.
understand? So how you are say always and all the time.
It was
Nah,
bands
remember
were
when
always there.
no,
Cause the
no,
bands come
no.
before the sound system. The
What?
sound
No,
system
but you're
developed
not
through
hearing
through the
yourself
dance
though.
hall.
But you're not hearing
No,
yourself.
what you mean me not hear myself? I'm here talking.
When
No, don't
yeah,
say
but
that.
it
I'm
don't
telling
mean you're
you. I'm
hearing
saying to
yourself.
you, the sound
But
system.
you don't
Which one
even
was
know
there
what
first?
part of your
Which
conversation
one
I'm
was
telling
there
you is a
first? Answer
problem.
this. Answer this. Which one was there
No,
first?
I'm
The
not
bands are the
answering
sound system.
anything because you don't know where the discrepancy is. So why you can't wait a second to hear what
No,
the issue
it's
is?
your discrepancy still. So
No, it's
me
not.
not
If you're
care.
having a
Because if you
conversation with
cannot prove that
Devin
the sound
and
system
Devin
was
isn't
there
understanding,
before
how is it
the
me?
bands, well, if you can't prove to me that the sound system was
There's
invented
nothing
before
to prove
a
because
band,
essentially what you keep saying is that it's always been. And
always
what we
been,
are
always,
talking
and it's
about,
never
hold
been
on,
out
my
of it.
brother.
Always
What
been.
what
We
Devin
not
is
can rewrite
talking
history to
about is
please full of
in
narrative.
that no what is the narrative? Since you want to get me across, what is the narrative, Golden Eye?
I got a reason in the
Explain the
pan, you know.
narrative. Devin, me
Let's
know
not go
why you
take
say
the
nothing.
history of the music.
Explain my
No man,
reasoning
Devin,
right
away and
now.
Devin attack.
Oh, my bad. Explain my reasoning right now. Because this are not Devin. Because
You
me
can't read
attack
them.
and
You
you go
can't
like
read
you
them, man.
want. No, but you're going like you
But
want.
no
What your
man,
problem? Me not understand what going with you today. You know your feelings.
Devin forward. No, me never know my
Then
feelings.
relax. Devin not say nothing to you and me I talk to you. I mean, I tell you, say me I listen to the two hour now talk and what the problem is. But up till now, you don't know what the problem is, brother.
Of course, me address Devin and your problem. Me not a problem with what you say. You have a problem with
No,
what
but
me say.
you and
Me
Devin are have
address
a
Devin.
conversation
I me
and
address
people are
Devin.
listen.
I me
You are say
address
one thing,
Devin.
Devin I say a next
Me
thing.
address Devin. Devin no one understand a film problem. Me don't clarify that. Me just sit forward to you say
Clarify
something and me
what?
there
What you
hear it.
clarify?
The distinction between artists with up on stage at DJ up on sound and the artists that go up on a show where several artists we play with bands.
All right, so like me did I say before, are we talking about dancehall music or are we talking about reggae music? Are two different music. So
Then
which one of them?
that's what
Which
I'm
one
trying
of
to
them?
say to you. Dancehall was always being played with bands as well.
And I am going to
They're
say I
always
disagree
the
with that
dancehall
part.
artists
When
has
you say
always been
dancehall
performing
has
on bands.
always, when you say dancehall has always been played with bands, where?
Dancehall artists
Because
have always been performing.
dancehall,
Let me clarify.
it's
Let me make a
crazy that you're
statement.
saying that when
Dancehall artists has
dancehall
always been
music
performing on
came
bands.
from the dance hall. So it's kind of weird that you keep saying that and pretend like other people don't know their history too. So in the
So
dance
which genre?
hall,
So
it is a sound
Which genre?
system culture.
Which
So
genre
we're
is
in
dancehall derived
dance
from?
hall
So
music
which
has it
genre?
always been
Which
that way.
genre has dancehall derived from? The reggae?
No, brother. You're not having to me, you're not having a sensible
So
conversation. I'm not about to
if the
argue
root,
with you because you're in your feelings.
listen.
If you are
The music, right?
conversing, then converse. But if you have an
The
argue,
music
then
changed
I'm
from
done with the
reggae to dancehall
conversation.
because
Because
generation changed, right?
you're not having a sensible
No, it
conversation to
don't
me.
change from reggae to dancehall.
Bro, what
Dancehall
Reggae
is
dance?
is
separate.
reggae,
Dancehall is separate
Where
is
from.
reggae
dancehall.
forward from? Where these artists forward from to start the dancehall, my G? The reggae music, ska, and I
Yeah.
meant to all of them.
Oh, 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 oh,
The genre evolved from generation to generation. So you know, piece of them take
Brother,
aspects
reggae
of
is
the
different
root.
from dancehall.
Do
So
you know who name
it's
it reggae
different, but where
music?
it forward from?
Do you
It's
know?
different.
Do
It's
you
different,
know
but where it
who? Do
forward
you?
from?
Hold on there.
They're
Hold
all
on there. Do you
intertwined,
know?
my
Do
G.
you
They're
know
all
who name it
intertwined.
reggae music? Eh?
Reggae music, my G. Just born comes to reggae music. I'm not look for that, none of that. Who name reggae music? You can
One
Google it, you
Jamaican,
know.
one Jamaican artist, one of the best singer, one of Jamaican best singer. I think him pass off now. Couple years ago, not even long time now.
David, I may try to say, see, if you have dancehall and reggae,
Mm-hmm.
one forward before the next one. You know, things like the artists don't do dancehall music, right? Forward out the root, go them forward from the reggae music, my G, and then turn it into something different.
No, I wouldn't say that
Once them
because
digitize the music, my problem with your conversation is how you're saying it, and I hate the fact that we are acting like we're teaching
so
or we're
so yeah,
actually.
so
Hold on, I'm
go
done with
ahead, Bob
Devin.
Double. Yeah.
Me hate the fact that we dep on one panel and we pretend like we actually want to give people information, but we don't want to do that. We seem like we want to win an argument. Now, if we want to actually
Brother,
make people
brother,
understand,
right.
if we want to actually make people understand the course of our conversation, I feel like it make more sense for lay out everything. Now, when you're saying dancehall come from reggae, in what aspect? Because dancehall come from the dance hall, and in the dance hall, a sound system culture run the culture there. Now, when we're talking about Jamaican music and the different types of Jamaican music, of course, you'll have like ska, and then ska come down to mento, and then mento come down to reggae, and then reggae come down to dancehall. But dancehall is the digitized version. You understand what I mean? When people are playing upon bands, you know the bands are recreating those, you know what?
Up. I say a word. Up. I say it go. I just say it there. Let's say it there, you know.
Dancer was always in the dancer on the track and on the record of them I say. But once there's a stage show, it's live band.
Let me say part
From
more.
ever since.
Let me
Yeah,
say
now that may I come
before
and
them
agree
artists
with you.
intertwine. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they're right, they're right in the dance hall, There's always DJ five. Come, me listen. Me grew up in a dance hall. My old man have the biggest dance hall in a Portland. Any big son think about come play there. Brigadier Jerry, one of them man, me look up boy watch out DJ. 5, 6, 7, 8 man a line up to take the mic. And them a spin over the record. But when there's a stage show, it's live band on the stage.
Yep.
Yeah.
From
And
now
before the music.
things change.
Well, if that is your conversation, then I agree with that.
But that's what
Hey,
he's
listen.
saying. That's what
No,
he
Listen.
was
that's a
saying.
never.
Listen.
No,
That's a
that's not what I'm
never. Look
saying.
here,
That is
look
Listen.
not what
here,
he's
look
saying.
here.
Devin,
You
you
see
can't tell
me?
me what I say, because
You see,
What
Yeah,
other
you
that
so
is
me
that
understand.
saying a while
Devin, are you
ago?
forward on
you
the
see
panel?
me?
Are you
Latonia
forward?
When I
speaks,
can't
say
stop
yo,
argue with no one another,
Beanie
now me
Man
talk
and
to
Bounty.
you.
Hey,
We're
look at
Come
them.
on,
having a full
Beanie
man.
Man and
conversation
Bounty
about dancehall and reggae music
clash
banning.
on a
And it
band
forward to bands.
1993. It
It
was
coming like
epic.
you're just miserable today,
Yeah.
brother. Nobody can talk and you're
I do
not
that,
argue.
Michael.
Well, from me, come
Yeah.
here.
You see with me,
No,
Michael,
no.
with bands,
I tell
But
you,
Michael.
brother,
I tell you when
when
me
when
no
I come
like
into the
bands,
I
studio,
Michael.
Devin forward
remember
on
when there
the
was stage
panel
show.
and the real argument.
Me I tell
But
you.
me not care because you can't only talk to Devin. Because you say something and me I talk to you and you cuss and I talk
All
about
right.
Devin. What the
In
rest?
Golden
Yeah.
Night, would you say enough for the American artists then when them a use bands and lip them a lip?
Them a do what?
Flip.
No, but the rap people them actually
Me not
use
talk the rap,
man.
man.
I
Me
must
not
say, I
talk.
must say,
Me
I must
not.
say hip hop. I must say hip hop music forward from
Done it?
scratching and something, bro. The record, the DJs and everything. So for them playing on
Hip hop
tracks and them
music
stuff there.
forward from dancehall music. Hip hop music forward from dancehall.
Anyway, it part from dancer,
A
but when it reach
combination of music, yeah.
so when
Yeah.
what it started off with DJs
Send them
scratching,
here,
playing records and scratching. Them
Yeah.
never coming in a band's era, my G. Our music forward from that. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Before there was digital recordings, these artists used to deck in our room, I record them
Right.
the damn guitar, the drum and something. That's what I mean. I said.
Yes,
Say it's a
yes.
power from that development. And I said, I say, oh, it never exists. Our sound system never exists. I said, where it fall from? It's coming from that,
brother.
G. So we always have the bands
But here
entwined in
what the
our culture.
problem. Here what the problem though. So you see while but feel like the big stage show them use bands, it has always been a problem for me. It's not gonna be a problem for everybody. And the reason is I don't think dancehall artists sound good on bands. That's just my opinion. But me
These
hear
artists,
it's
these new
no.
artists,
No,
these
that
newer
you see,
artists.
your opinion is newer artists. I
Yeah.
don't
Cause they
think
don't
them
know the
sound the
music.
best, period.
A lot of these artists don't even know, they don't even know quarter note, half note to 3/4 notes to a full bar. So
Mama
them
tell you,
can't go
you know the
perform,
best,
them can't go perform
thing for me,
for no
Golden
band.
Eye? You see when the DJ turn on the rhythm and them just a pass the mic and them know when to drop it low and them know when to bring it back up and them know when like I like
For
that.
mix, yeah, for mix.
I like
But
that
what
live
better?
in living color.
But what is better when the artists up on a stage show with the bands and on the artists I tell them say, yo, mix or give me sevens. Where you talk about double?
No, but
The
to
feeling where you
you,
get.
but that are to you, brother. You
Well,
me know
me enrich
somebody too.
me
My
enrich in our
hearing
culture
pleasure,
more still, so
my
you know,
hearing
different.
pleasure is different, yeah. So it may I tell you, me would prefer a bands. But can I work with a bands? Absolutely. You understand what I mean? That's why I must say it can be both. I think this thing where people think it can only be one thing, it doesn't have to be because realistically dancehall do for rhythm. You know what I mean? We're met digitally. So
All right, but what you know, no, Golden Knights, would you say back in the days when you say with the rhythm they making for dancehall rhythm they ain't make off of bands, you know.
facts.
So
Well,
me tell you that
me
again,
not
for
gonna
that's
say
what me
that.
know, you know.
Me
You
G,
have
me know
some of
that
them,
But
you have,
hold
hold on,
on,
me
hold
may
on,
explain,
but
me
hold
may
on.
explain myself, me
dancehall
finish
rhythm play
explain
with live
myself.
instruments, same way me G. What you
No,
talking
no,
Yeah,
no,
and
about?
no,
then
no,
them
no, no, no.
digitize it. Yeah,
Even
yeah,
now, even now. What you talking
yeah,
Yeah,
about?
we
yeah,
say.
man. Not all, not
Not
all,
all
not
of them.
all.
That's why I explain myself
Not
to you, make you understand. Because all
the,
computer rhythm and enough rhythm back in the days they make. I don't
listen,
know bands them
No,
rhythm they
but
listen,
where
make
I'm a
you
off
say
right
G.
now.
computer get the
Listen,
rhythm
I'm a
from?
G. Listen, I'm a G. You
You know
have
them how
plenty
they make the
artists.
rhythm ready, but you know them go do
Devin,
whatever with the rhythm. So you know
Devin,
what I mean still.
Devin. All right,
Yeah.
like you have a producer right now. See, like me myself, me make a certain type of song. I mean, we make the beat, like the drum and the snare off
And
of the
then you go in
computer.
with him keyboard.
Yeah.
And yes, and then doubles. If me want hear a nice guitar phrase, I know
Yeah,
I bet you can play a guitar. I say, yo, come play that
call
phrase
him
for
in
me.
and him play it. Yup.
So people still a play
So
live
here,
instruments
here
fine
is
with him now.
so that is how you find like the balance, you know. When you really hear a good rhythm, it's not just like
Computer, right.
Yeah,
Everything
yes,
yeah,
computer,
it's
yeah,
yeah.
have
Yeah.
elements
yeah.
of
Yeah.
what me feel like that's why I mean like conscience, not conscience, chronics
Mm-hmm.
album, the last album, Exile, when him come out with.
Yeah, lot of
Because
live
may I tell you
instruments.
the live
Mm-hmm.
thing they just may I tell you me not opposed to bands period, you know.
Yeah,
Me
yeah.
just I say me not really like when we dancehall artists have to perform upon them. But you see when done right, it is superb. Me not tell you no lie.
Yeah, yeah.
And the white people them love it, love the instrument them too, you know. We
But
love
that
when the
man said
music.
Devin. That man said Devin, like, we don't know.
Mm.
We don't know. Everybody prefers different still. But me love the
But me
bands.
still, me not gonna like, me like double still. Me love
Man,
hear the DJ them just a DJ. Me not like fear hear no. Me no want hear the overshadow pan song. More hear everything with the artist. I say more hear the rhythm up here. More hear the beat. When by the music by the beat start, we can start DJ the song.
Cause me already know the song when I come with already. And them thing them like. When
But you're
artists
being
slip up,
hypocritical. Because if the rhythm are gonna sound the same like how you want, and then the artist not perform it the same, what you take from it?
no,
So
where if you
that's
not
the
that
issue.
is just
Why
That
you
the,
I'm
think
more messed
so
up.
the rhythm
But you
so
see,
that
not
the issue. Hold
sound
on,
the
so
same?
that is the issue. What that I have with track separate from the bands. You see, when an
yeah.
artist are perform on a bands, they perform the song them the way them supposed to. With the
But most
tracks,
of the time them
them
slip
not
up
gonna
on the
perform it
bands
the
cover
same.
for
They
them.
cannot. Yeah,
Yes, they do.
artists that cannot perform with a man's Devin. You have to make that clear. You have to say them are gonna slip up. You ever see being man was slip up on a band?
Go on. We know being the man
Man,
a
then
king
catch
man
you.
for the bands thing. Being the man a
Okay.
king for the
Yeah.
bands. You have to give that to
Capleton,
that
yesterday
man.
man they slip up on bands.
The
So
man they
unless
are
it,
general boss when it come on.
yeah, so
But you have man who
exactly.
slip up on bands, brother.
Cause them can't use it, bro.
You see me? Yeah,
Like
man, where the bands man can work. Come see enough of them artists yeah. They pump bands and I try. And they don't even know if you tell Bumble Click bands man say they want. Bands man all just they stand up on them and look on them and wonder like, what you want?
Yeah. So for them artists, if those artists are not, something that
But
polish
that me
them
I say
craft,
that
I for
time
them
that is
fault.
time waste. Then the time you know my DJ could have DJ right and I rhythm I go and play and I be a niceness I go on and people are sing and I enjoy themselves. Enjoy. And that me go there for you know brother. Me no go there for you know pang pang.
use that. Don't play the bands, and then the bands are the
Let
fault.
me
At
tell you how
fault.
me
So are the
like bands
artists.
going tonight. You see how me love bands now? Me like bands now when me I hear some old artists, some reggae music. And them I sing on the bands nice and quiet and smooth and I play. Yes, I know when the bands doing up tempo now and then and anything there. Yeah, but me not like the bands we like when the dancehall artists them dip on it. Me not know. Me prefer the chronic them and those certain artists them like here the
You
pan.
see,
Be the man, me
anybody
love you, be the man pan bands. Cause to me, I think be the man is the best dancehall artist out of Jamaica wherever go on a bands and Capleton next. To me, we don't know
Anthony
about
be
nobody
wicked too,
else.
you know.
I
Anthony be
think
Eh?
wicked too,
I'm
you know.
bad.
Anthony be wicked too, you know.
Yeah, Anthony B too. Yeah, Anthony B bad for true too, you know. But me
But
love being the
when I
man.
notice that one I say I be a reggae and a reggae
Right,
artist.
that means I say that is reggae. You see me? You know where
Killer bad pan the bands. I don't know as a new
hey,
younger artist than them a bad pan bands. Busy signal band pan bands. The artists are bad pan bands.
my father can work pan bands too good.
My father good pan bands too.
Yeah, my father
You see
work
me?
good pan bands too. But it's not that cartel can work pan bands. Cartel choose not to work on bands in prefer. That is what is
Cartel.
right.
Listen, me at least 3 stages in my life to watch Cartel perform pan bands. And he perform good pan bands. And he worse pan bands, but and he best either.
Yeah.
He probably
No,
don't
but
prefer it.
me not think him point I say, him not do it because him can't do it or whatever. I mean never hear Cartel give no real
No, him just choose
explanation.
not to work
But I
on it.
just that him say moving forward I saw. So
Yeah,
I know
that's it.
I just saw.
I just
I
saw.
just saw, I
That is
just
him
saw,
try.
I just
Him
saw,
try
I
to work
just
on.
saw.
You see me? And I may I tell you one other thing about bands now. We will look at this now, business wise now. Think about this now. When you have a bands, brother, it costs money,
I mean, if I tell you, where they may I tell to them, so I think a little bit of money for pay bands.
Oh,
I know
okay.
say bands money different than artist money.
For
And you
artist
know
money.
say Black in Idea, each artist have their own bands.
All right.
Bojo and
Okay.
in bands,
And
Beanie and in
yeah.
bands. Oh.
So you try understand, brother, bands not cheap, brother. It costs
But
money.
it not cheap, but people are pay them money to get the experience. If people want to hear the song just like how they play it on the radio, them
I
listen on
think
them
back
phone.
in the days it was more cost efficient to do that. I don't think the economy right now
Well, night.
calls for that. And if you're trying to make sure that people have like a certain experience, then you gotta do we're more efficient. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, for this one, I don't think bands would have been. No, for some fest again next year, it better be bands. Yeah.
All right,
Good.
doubles.
That why yeah, doubles.
Doubles, you call on the plane right there, so. Big up yourself, David.
Yes,
Good
sir.
night, doubles. Big
Big
up
up, man.
yourself.
Bless
Thank
up
you for
everybody.
forward, doubles.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
everybody.
Later.
All right, big
Big
up.
up
All
on
right, bless up,
yourself.
Michael.
Bless up
Bless
to
up,
you.
Well,
man.
night. Double bless up on yourself.
Up, my
Bless up.
Yeah.